I'm watching the rise. And I wouldn't say I'm shocked, cause I'm hardly surprised. This one's for the ride. This one's for who knew I'd make it, just needed some time. This one's for my wife. Could've left 1,000 times just to by my side. This one's for the grind. I knew it would happen, just had the strength in my mind.
It's the Travel OG, and welcome to the Black Manosphere Conclave 5.0.
We got started in 2021 in Atlanta, united in the pursuit of excellence in all things. It's been one hell of a ride.
Can I tell you what's on my mind? 'Cause I've been thinking about it for quite some time. Hey, can you give me a moment to declare my love? Can I tell you what's on my mind?
We're now focusing more on opportunities for men, in particular passport bros. Guys who go abroad, they want to have a different lifestyle, they want to have a different achievement abroad. Oh yeah, there's without a doubt, the narrative has changed for us greatly.
I just finished speaking and having a chance to tell individuals about how to live the American dream outside of America. And I was here to help so many men when it comes to understanding what they need to do in order to relocate.
With the political climate, things that are happening worldwide, guess what? Nobody's coming to save us. So it is indicative that we all bound together, tighten up like a fist, and strike a mighty blow against everything that's fighting to stop us, man.
It's nothing but good, positive people, good, positive energy with one goal in mind, and that is to make money, get the hell out the Matrix, and enjoy your life. You dig? So shout out to all of y'all. Theme music.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? This your man Marcus A. Brown, and I'm here to tell y'all that I just got done with my first consultation with the brother Andre of Love Crossing Borders. I just wanted to give him his praises. I need y'all to do two things if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed to his YouTube channel, Love Crossing Borders. Also, if you are going to Colombia, if you're thinking of going anywhere, traveling internationally, please consider booking a consultation with the OG Andre of Love Crossing Borders. You will not be disappointed. And y'all, get in tune with him if you haven't already. Tell him MAB sent you. Peace.
Where are all the black men? And I'm not talking about the scammers, the drug dealers, the robbers, and the crooks.
Well, actually.
Shout out to all you gentlemen that are here and all you ladies that dare to tread this channel. There's been an observation that's been going on by the ladies in foreign countries that not all men are created equal. Quite often we look at each other on social media and we think everybody's winning. You know, everybody's got the wifey, everybody's got the chicks, everybody's winning. But when you hear the ladies talk in foreign countries, they will tell you that not all men are created equal. Not all men are what these women will consider winners. Now, some of you guys might think because you come with a passport, you come with a pocket full of money, that automatically makes you a winner because I can pay for anyone I want. But once again, there are women that are saying, now all men are created equal. And just because you got money in your pocket does not mean that you are a winner. So Brother Ronan Travelers and I have been sitting on this type of topic for a few weeks. So I'm going to be bringing Ronan Travelers up in a minute. We're not going to do a long intro today because this is going to be a really interesting show, because there is a Philippine content creator who's in a solidified relationship with an American, with a foreigner at least, and she gives her opinion in regards to not everybody's winning. Men are trying to sell it to other men that everybody that comes to the Philippines or Colombia or other parts of the world is winning, and that's not necessarily true. So Ronan Travelers and I are going to talk about that tonight and listen to what she has to say. And the question is, if not everybody's winning, then who is? And that's what we're going to talk about tonight here on Love Crossing Borders. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to all you guys that are here. Let me get a shout out to my brother Timothy Bright in the building. Avengers Assemble. He said, let's watch Uriah. Happy birthday. Yes, sir. Shout out to our brother Uriah. His birthday today. Yes, sir. Shout out to our brother Uriah. Oh, yeah. And we got our brother Ronan in the background. Shout out to Ronan. And thank you guys for supporting the channel, because let's pull up on screen real quick something that just took place in the last 5 hours. In the last 5 hours here in Peru, there has been a 6.7 earthquake in the last 5 hours here in Peru. So I don't know what's going on in South America. It jumped to Indonesia a couple of days ago, but then it was here in Colombia, Ecuador, and Panama. We all got hit at the same time. And now, just 5 hours ago, let's keep Peru in prayer, because Peru just got hit with the 6.7 shake across southern Peru. So it's taking place everywhere. And so we're still raising money for ourselves, and we're raising money for those in Choco and the Black community here in Colombia, as well as Buenaventura. So, but shout out to our brother Uriah. Happy birthday to him, man. In the words of Kanye West, he wasn't supposed to make it past 25. Joke's on you, he's still alive. Shout out to Uriah. He say winners gonna win and losers are gonna lose. That is so true, brother. Shout out to Dread Mike being in the building as well. But let me go to the top and show some love to the brothers that were here in the beginning. My brother Kenny Peoples, buenas noches, good evening to you. And my uncle Jeffrey being the ghost face himself, the Czar. What up, though? What up, Detroit? Shout out to you being here, nephew, my brother. Always great to join in the live stream. As always, this will be good. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Anytime you got Ronan on board, you know it's gonna be good. And salute to my brother Ahmad Milner in the building. Salute to you, brother. Glad to see that you're here, as well as Kenny Peoples and Jeffrey. Shout out to my brother Unc Guns in the building, showing some love. He said, like, subscribe, donate, and comment. Yes, sir. And thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. Using that wrench. Using your wrench well, Unc Guns. Using your wrench well. Appreciate you, brother. As well as we're watching you guys. I know you guys are live over on Ronan's Travel, so I'm going to bring Ronan's Travelers channel. So I'm going to be bringing him up in a split second. Shout out to all you guys. We got 21 in the building. It's going to be a good topic. A man supporting man. And shout out to Caesar being in the building representing. It's going to be a real good topic, Mr. E-Man Peary and my brother Ransom being him. Buenos starters. Good morning to all you guys over there. By the way, they're in Southeast Asia where Ronan is. Shout out to all you guys. And of course, we got to give the final salute to our brother, the Fit Traveler. Glad to see that you're here, brother. Glad to see that you're here. And also T-Mac made it in, just slid in there with a quick salute as well. Let me get ready to turn this music down and actually switch it over. Because like I said, we got a great topic tonight, man. We got a great, like I said, they just got a 6.7 earthquake just a few hours ago in Peru. So we need to definitely keep them in prayer, man. I don't know what's going on around the world, but the Bible says there will be more earthquakes. And so the Bible is not letting us down in regards to that. Are you gonna be heading to Quibdó mañana, tomorrow. So you may heading to Choco area. Okay, cool. That's real good, man. That's real good. Going up there and do volunteer work. Take some video, T-Mac, so you can share it with us as well. And blessings to you and all the guys that are going there. And shout out to Dread Mike. He said, wait a minute. He said, you didn't press the note. He said, and I didn't smash the subscribe. Oh, I know, right? Blasphemy. All right. But on to some better news and better commentary. Let me take this down from the screen. Remove this. And let's keep Peru in prayer. This brother has been not just Mr. Ex-military, but also a fixture in the travel space. Long before there was a passport, bro, there were all you military men. And you were the ones that were introducing us and coming back home and telling us about these different locations when we were just 10, 11, 12, when we listened to our uncles and our fathers and our neighbors are coming back from the military, telling us about different parts around the world that's completely different from the United States. And if it wasn't for you guys, we definitely wouldn't be traveling the way that we do. So we would just want to say appreciation to you guys. But there is one in particular that's always been here as a fixture on this show, and that is our brother Ronan Travelers. Let me bring this man up. He always has some information to share. So when I saw this video of this young lady in the Philippines, there was only one brother who I want to bring on board to discuss this topic. Shout out, Ronan. Hey, brother.
Man, it's unfortunate, Peru, with the earthquakes. You know, me living in California for 30 plus years, I've been in several, you know, from the Ridge quake to all the other ones that came after that. So, you know, it's humbling to see how devastating Mother Nature can be.
Yeah.
You know, and when you think you got everything taken care of, your resources, all that, and then in a moment, you know, from fire to, you know, tsunamis to earthquakes, whatever, can just take you down a couple pegs. So, you know, shout outs to them. Prayers go out to the families, you know, and like I said, if you can give any kind of support, please do. Please do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said, paying Nazarene of the Way is in the building. He says this. He say praying for everyone's safety in South America because it looks like it's on a tour. It's like these earthquakes are on a tour around here.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, and they've already said that it might be heading towards Argentina in the up and coming weeks as well. So, and it was in southern Peru, so that might be what they were talking about, that Argentina Peru area, because they had already predicted that a few days ago. So that might be the one that they were talking about, because it happened in southern Peru, and southern Peru is connected right there with Argentina and Bolivia.
Yeah, it's just shocking. I mean, I understand quakes and fault lines, and you know, it's just a lot of them going on globally. Venezuela, Colombia, you know, and then obviously America has them all the time. It's so regular. They have them here in the Philippines. You know, aside for the earthquakes, they have the tsunamis. They have everything. And they got a damn volcano that's been going off.
We got one
going on,
and we fight forest fires right now.
Yeah, something's going on globally when it comes to the earth and whatever's going on under the crust. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and T-Mac is right. Chile always has earthquakes. They always have them. So people in South America kind of used to Chile having them, but for them to be all over the place as they are now, that is crazy, man. That is crazy. So how are things over there with you today, this morning?
Man, I'm blessed. You know, we did that show where I was going over my budget, and I told you I had a goal of cutting my budget in half for the lease. I didn't get exactly half, but it is lower.
Lord, I know exactly what you're
I got about $300 off of it, so I'm down another $300 on the lease alone. So
yes, sir.
You know, it's all good.
Yes, sir.
So,
Glad you made that
yeah,
announcement.
I'm just at about 1,000 for everything now. You know what I'm saying? Under that, just a little under that. So, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm blessed. Like I said, we're doing it month to month right now because they're trying to sell this house in such a bad economy. But he's an American, and he's desperate back home. You know. And, unfortunately, I'm sorry. I'm the kind of dude. I'm going to take advantage of it a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We were talking about that today, that so many apartments are going to be on sale in Colombia and Panama and in Ecuador because
oh my goodness, can you imagine?
Oh man, it's going to be so many bargain basement sales here in Colombia, all over the country.
How do you fix a condo structure when it's messed up or twisted? The framework and everything, if it's twisted, it's twisted. No matter what you're selling the individual room for, I mean the building, but the building's got to go, you know?
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Like our neighbor across the street, when you look at it, it looks like a brand new building, just been up for 5 years. And on the inside, it's just mass destruction on the inside. So everybody's moved out and they're going to be tearing that building down. Because it's 4 buildings in that complex, but the one is coming down. I mean, guaranteed. So it's going to be a lot of construction, a lot of noise in our area. That's another reason why.
A while.
Oh yeah, yeah. They said it's going to be over $3 billion in repairs and restructuring. Just Cali alone, $3 billion.
Well, I just hope you guys get the support you need globally, you know, for the disaster you guys got to deal with. And like I said, I know there are others. Indonesia just went through an earthquake, a major one, and a tsunami. I mean, the double whammies are coming in. Philippines is like that too. They've been flooding in Cebu and parts of Manila because they've had an aqueduct problem for a long time. They have not paid for flooding prevention here. I don't want to speak too ill of the government, but certain politicians have pocketed that money, you know, so that's a whole scandal.
Timothy says that they equate globally, and most of us know scripture. Yep. Matthew chapter 28, if I'm not mistaken, verses 24 to 28, where Jesus talks about that there are going to be more and more wars and more earthquakes. He said, I'm having second thoughts about bringing children into this world. And did you know that one of his prophecies was that people will say, I will have second thoughts of bringing children in this world because of the destruction? That whole Matthew chapter 28 is the prophecy of what he said, or of his return as the Messiah. And one of those prophecies was more and more people will say, I am not having children. And there will be more wars and there will be more earthquakes. And then he said mothers will go against daughters and daughters will go against fathers. I mean, sons in this world.
Look, the mother and daughter thing, Jesus.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's already happening. They're competing for the same guys now and everything else. So, yeah, it's kind of a little, you know, eerie and surreal with some of the things that are going on. But, you know, I've been in church all my life. We the same age. So, matter of fact, the damn same month, we're about to hit 59. But yeah, I mean, I've heard so many times when there were some major things going on, wars and different things like that. Everybody's like, it's a sign of the end days. But we all know in the Bible, what? No man knows the time or the place.
No man knows the time. Yep. And he said, even if you hear those rumors of the end days, don't follow it. If they say that I'm in the desert, don't go. If you hear them say that I'm in the cities, don't go. It's just birth pains. It's just the beginning. And so, but tonight's topic is about men who are winning and men who don't want to admit that they're losing when it comes to dating on an international scale. I know you and I have been fortunate enough to be winners, but we know other guys that are winning tremendously. There are a lot of guys that are out here that are winning, whether you have your girlfriends, plural, or whether you have a wife or just one person, one special person. Guys just know how to maneuver. But there are so many guys that are losing, whether it be being kicked out of other countries, or whether Colombia turning you around at the airport, and Colombia is not the only one, whether it be Richie Mack just put a video out a couple hours ago, Ron, I don't know if you got a chance to see it, about how tight Thailand is starting to become, because they're getting travel fatigue with.
Yeah, I saw that video. Yeah. The Jews and different nationalities that are coming in trying to take over a little bit.
Yeah. So even other countries are tired. So the reason why we're doing this episode, because like I said, I sent the video to Ronan and I just thought about him. I said, this would be a great video for us to do a reaction to. I know you have some information that you would like to walk us through. Now, let me ask, would you like to do your information first or just do the video first?
I mean, no, she kind of talks about it, but I just put it in a visual format of what we, and here's the thing, we talk about all the time when it comes to dating, looking for red flags, right? But you guys don't realize you put out your own red flags, and these women can see your red flags too. So while Dee was talking, it kind of amplified some of the red flags that we put out as men to women that are either looking for us for either long-term or short-term thing. You're going to dictate that by the flags that you project, you know, beside for the money. They're going to see if they're going to, and you got to set the standard. You know, there are standards you have to adhere to in a relationship. And me and Dre will tell you, you know, a relationship is constant communication because there's constant change, new information, new knowledge. People are getting wiser. So if you're not constantly checking back in with your partner or your mate or whoever you want to call them, then, you know, there are going to be some kind of significant changes where you guys can grow apart.
True. That I'm glad that you said that. I mean, we as men, we hear the term communication, but we don't realize how important communication is to women, especially the foreign women, where you have sometimes language barriers. Sometimes you have cultural barriers. So that language, that communication, that to confirm certain things, and then how you put it, the couple evolves. Andrea is not the same Andrea I met when she was 23. This is a woman that's going to be 32.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Your woman is not the same. And a lot of guys don't realize that your woman is going to evolve. I don't care how much fun she is today, but your woman or your women will evolve, and so will you. And I like also what you stated, because a lot of guys don't realize that we are getting vetted too. These women look at us. You guys, don't think because you got money in your pocket that women don't notice your red flags. A lot of times you guys might get used, and I'm not saying you guys in general, but a lot of times, and Rona can attest to this, I want to hear what you have to say. A lot of times guys get used by foreign women because all you do is give off red flags. So they're like, I might as well take the money from him.
Yeah. Or this is going to be the long game. Even if she stays with you till you die, you know, depending on her age. Okay, I can live with this, get a couple kids. Yep. You know, I'm out by 35 and I'm on to the next.
Yep. Absolutely correct. 40 in the building. He says this. He say, why do some win and some lose? He say simple. Cultural awareness. We just talked about that. Common sense. We also talked about that. And research. It really ain't that hard. And I
agree.
Do they not make it harder, Ronan, than what it needs to be?
It is that simple. Stop being so damn lazy. I just don't understand the level of laziness within our culture now. You know, with conveniences comes that level of what? Entitlement.
Yep.
And lack of having to feel like you need to achieve anything because it's just the information is coming to you easier. Doesn't mean you got less struggle. This means you're able to gain the information faster. So it should be what? More competitive. Right?
Like you said, it should be, but have you noticed that guys like many of you guys in the comment, you, Ronan, myself, Richie Mack, guys like Tailor Made Dreams, Love, Purpose, and Passports in DR, and a plethora of guys on TikTok that are in solidified relationships, we win in a sense also because the next man or the last dude was so lazy. He was so lazy. He was so much of a red flag. I kid y'all not, guys. Many of us win just based off of you are too lazy to even try to win. You make finding the good women easy. You make finding the quality women so simple for us. Y'all don't, when y'all sit back and say that, Ronan, were you lucky? Andre, were you lucky? You were fortunate. You know, Andre was this, that. Bruh, I am telling y'all, one of the number one things that will make it easier for you to find a quality woman in these countries is because all the other dudes are so lazy when it comes to being a quality dude. They think all they got to do is reach in their pocket and just add water, and that's it. And all the women go come running. Yeah, not the quality women. And so that's the, go ahead, Ron. I want to hear what you have to say about that.
I mean, just even with my situation, she was on the shelf. She was a quality product on the shelf. Got plenty of guys had access to her. They were shooting her emails. They were trying to talk to her, but they got lazy because they couldn't stay consistent. There was too many choices for them on the internet. So while she got her dating experience of dealing with certain kind of guys, she had been on the shelf the whole time, tucked away in this little province. But nobody bothered to push any further.
Wow. And it's the same thing with Andrea. It was no different, brother. No different.
Yeah.
All he says this. He said, keep it 100. He said, I hope folks don't do their homework.
You're evil.
He sound like me. I hope they don't do their homework. That means more supply and better quality. Fish in a barrel. Absolutely correct. He is not lying. And my brother Juan says this. He said, yeah, Ronan. He said, that's why you got to say, that's what you got to say about it. He say, but salute, bro.
Yeah, I know him personally. He's a good friend of mine. Call him my brother. So,
shout out to you. Shout out to you, bro. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Here's what we'll do. We'll start with the video because we're going to be, I'm going to turn the music down just a little bit more. We're going to start with the video, hearing what she had to say. Like I said, now you've seen this content creator before, correct?
Yeah, I've seen her several times. She's pretty popular here in the Philippines. Matter of fact, there's a lot of Philippine content creators that make 100K in subscribers real easy. I mean, you're damn near a celebrity when it comes to Facebook, because it's one of the number one ways they communicate is Facebook. So yeah, it's a huge thing once you get up in YouTube numbers, Facebook, and so on. Everybody's on. It's their community is social media between the islands. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're going to get started, and then we're going to watch the video of the breakdown that our brother Ronan has.
Funny to me, the Philippines has over 59 million women. 59 million. That's more women than the entire population of South Korea. And yet somehow, every week there's a 58-year-old man, foreign man, in my comments telling me he's been here for a month and he can't meet anyone. A month in a country of 59 million women with daddy issues that often has a foreigner fetish, and you're struggling? Okay, let's talk about this.
Okay, before she goes any further, did she lay down a foundation that you have seen that women in the Philippines do enjoy being with men from other countries, do enjoy being with older men, and many of these men have no excuse. I'm not saying looking for a wife in 1 month, but don't know anybody, and that's what she's saying. You guys don't know anybody?
Right. I mean, the reason why it's unbelievable, one, it's a Catholic religion. That's a basis here, besides for a Muslim religion, but Catholic overwhelmingly. Okay, so Catholic Christian. You know, the family morals is always shaped around the family nucleus. So you always have support within the family. You're always being what we call covered in the Bible You are covered by your family until you're married. You know, Filipinas do prefer their Filipino male counterpart. Economy dictates certain things. You know, the guy has his pick, just like in Colombia, of all the different women. So they'll jump around too, and they'll either get sick of that, and then they'll want to deal with a foreigner that's a little bit older and a lot more stable.
Okay.
You know, so she's absolutely right. There are a lot of women here. Not to say there isn't a high rate of single motherhood too, you know, because with that religion comes a no-no, which is abortion.
And that's why Colombia has the #1 rate of single mothers, because it is a Catholic country. The same abortion is not a thing here in Colombia, and if it is, it's a small segment, very small. And so, and then just like you said, they're covered by the family. So if they do get pregnant, the whole family circles around them until they get married. So whether they're married or not, here in Colombia, it's the same thing.
Right.
The family is going to vet you just like that woman will. And so, you know, based off of what she's saying, I agree with her, especially when it comes to the month thing. She said that twice, because a lot of guys are rushing. You know, like I said earlier, they think they got a pocket full of money and they got a jar full of water, and all they got to do is just add water and you can have the relationship that you want. And that's not necessarily true. So let's go back here.
I've been watching this play out for years from the inside. I'm Filipino. I was born and raised here in the Philippines. I'm engaged to an American, and I know this world from both angles. And I have some things to say that most people making content about this are not going to say to you. Some of it you're going to agree with, some of it is going to make you uncomfortable, but all of it is true. But before we get into it, and I mean this genuinely, not as a disclaimer I was told to add, this video is not here to attack you. It's not a feminist propaganda. It's not a lecture either. I know those words are loaded now, especially if you've been through modern Western dating experience where every conversation about men feels like an indictment. This is not what it is. I'm a Filipino woman who works with this community, lives inside the culture, and actually wants you to succeed here. I'm going to use words like independent and educated when I talk about some Filipino women, and I need you to hear those words in the way they're meant here, not the way they've been weaponized in Western discourse. In the Philippines, those words don't come with loaded agenda. They just mean women who have jobs and went to school. That's it. If you can hear this with fresh ears, I promise it's going to help you, and settle in. Grab whatever you're drinking and let's actually have this conversation. Hi guys, it's Dee and welcome back to the channel. Make sure you subscribe, because if you're going to be one of the 59 million reasons I keep making these videos, you might as well stay for the whole lesson. Now, let's start, of course, at the beginning. Before we talk about what's going wrong, we need to talk about what you were told. There is a version of the Philippines that gets marketed to foreign men, mostly Western men, mostly 45 and older, and it sounds something like this. Beautiful women everywhere. They love foreigners, very traditional, very loyal, easy to approach. Come to the Philippines and your romantic problems are over. And I want to be very clear. Parts of that are true. There are beautiful women here. Cross-cultural relationships absolutely happen, and many of them are wonderful and lasting. The Philippines genuinely is one of the more welcoming places in the world for foreign men to put down roots. That's all real. But the whole narrative gets packaged and sold as if all you have to do is arrive. Like the Philippines is a self-serve situation. Show up.
I saw you shaking your head. Bring it on, brother.
Absolutely not. That's a the reason why is we owned the Philippines for a lot of years. Since the 1890s, during the Spanish-American War, we took over ownership from Spain. After we beat them, we brought the Philippines. We owned the Philippines till the 1940s, mid-40s, and we gave it back to them. Okay, so America has been here. American military has been on this island. So there's nothing brand new an American can bring. Plus, they speak English because of that as one of their national languages. There's nothing you can bring here they haven't already seen and pretty much can anticipate. You're not like reinventing the wheel here. So she's absolutely right when it comes to they're very receptive, but they understand who you are. You're not a mystery to them. You know, some of these other cultures, you might get away with that. They've never seen a certain type of person or, no, not here. Not here.
T-Mac said, I remember when I first joined the military,
Subic Bay.
Everyone talked about, Subic Bay.
And Olongapo. Subic Bay is the base. Subic Bay is right there next to the city of Olongapo. And just like you said, and I brought this up several times, is when you have 5 to 6 ships that come in with a MUSOC. A MUSOC is a unit called the Marine Expeditionary Unit. And SOC is Special Operations Capable. You have anywhere from 5 to 6 ships that'll pull into port. If you don't think that city knows there's about to be an influx of about 15,000 Navy and Marines coming off those ships looking for some kind of R&R when it comes to alcohol and women,
right?
That town blows up like Las Vegas when there's a crew coming in. And they will call out to the different provinces and have those girls come into Olongapo so that there is no shenanigans that go on, because all it takes is a little alcohol and not enough women, and there's going to be a lot of fight.
Yeah.
Because we're pent up. When you're talking about being on water for 60 to 90 days, and every 90 days you can even drink on the ship. It's that bad. If you're on a ship for 90 days, they actually have beer day where they cook steaks. They try to make you as comfortable as possible, and you can get a couple beer while you're on ship because they know you need to blink. They keep you so wound up that if you don't hit a port every so often, they know as a man with testosterone, shit's going to happen.
Yeah. That's a good point. All right, here we go.
Be foreign, collect girlfriend. And that's where it goes from helpful to genuinely misleading. Nobody has exact numbers on how many foreign men are actually living here at any given time. A huge number are on regular tourist visas, coming and going, and they don't show up in official counts. The estimates I've heard from people who track this closely put the real number somewhere around 300,000 or more. What we do know is that arrivals have been climbing consistently, and a significant portion of those men are showing up with the same brochure version of what this place is, and the same confusion when reality doesn't match it. So, let's correct the brochure. The most important thing that I'm going to say in this entire video is this. Finding a girl in the Philippines and finding a decent girl in the Philippines are two entirely different things. Hold on to that.
Let's pause that, because I want to bring that back, and I want to hear what you have to say about that. Finding a girl in the Philippines and finding a decent girl in the Philippines are two totally different things.
Yeah, matter of fact, if you want to pull up those slides, let's do this.
Yeah, that would be a great idea.
Let's do this
for a second, and then we're going to go to the slides. We're going to come back to the video, gentlemen.
Right. And let's start with we're going to go all the way to the last slide.
Okay.
So the actual numbers of people coming in, and we are one of the highest, but South Korea, which considers this a vacation stop too, comes here more than us. So you got South Korea, United States, and then it stair steps down. Okay, as far as incoming people, right. And then I went over, how many of them are getting married and different things like that. So I went to this right here. So of that influx of 14 million people a year or so that are coming in, and that breakdown, maybe about 4,000 marriages in the United States are happening. That's it.
Wow.
A lot of guys are coming here for the expat life. I mean, I heard even in the Marines and the Navy, a lot of guys saying, yeah, when I get my pension, I get my 20 years, I'm going to come over here and buy a bar, open up a bar, close to a longa pole or something like that, build a house with their little Filipina, have a couple servants working there, and run the bar. That was their goals. So you got a lot of old Navy guys and expats that are ex-military that came over here because they knew the cost of living was low. Even back then, I think it was about 56 to 57 pesos per every $1.
Wow.
Now it's stayed kind of steady to where it's only, because of the oil, it's up to about 61. But it's been pretty consistent over 30 plus years. It's about 56 pesos per dollar, holding steady, fluctuating up or down depending on what's going on globally. So it's a steady income or economy when it comes to our dollar value to the Philippines. So a lot of expats saw that writing on the wall. They instantly knew they were going to come over here or Thailand or whatnot. So it was already earmarked for them to do that. Now, when it comes to your Filipinas, here are your red flags and what they see in you. Okay. You either have low self-esteem, you're coming over here entitled, you love bombing the hell out of her, or she love bombing the hell out of you. You have poor hygiene. Does that mean she's not going to talk to you? Hell no. She's going to talk to you. But you're giving off the flag that you're not going to be somebody she's going to stay with.
True.
You only go to bars. If she met you in a bar, she already knows you're going to other bars. She ain't the only one you met in a bar.
Repeat yourself on that one, if you don't mind.
If you met her at a bar and she works in the bar or she met you in the bar, she knows as a foreigner, that's not the only bar you've ever walked into. And it's not going to be the only bar you go to next.
Boom.
Okay. And you can still be creepy even though you're overseas. Okay. And if you think a 9 or 10, even though you have money, don't think you're a little creepy based on your age or how you might be appealing to her or not. You can come off creepy. And then bad online behavior. If you met her on an app, she knows you're meeting more than one person. If you're sliding left or right, she's sliding left or right. Come on. Are you guys an island upon yourselves or what? Do you not know they're doing the same thing? They're playing the odds too. So just like you guys have, Western Union poppies, that stuff goes on here too. So sometimes guys go fishing in the wrong pond. You're in a foreigner bubble. There's certain popular places in the Philippines where they know most foreigners live. Cebu, DGC. Right. There's certain places all throughout all these different islands, Baguio, places like that are going to be places where there are major expat hubs. So they already know where to go to find you.
Is that one of the reasons why you kind of
live out in the province?
Yeah, decided that, let me do a Providence life compared to doing these major metropolises type of thing. Because the reason why I say that, because even though Cali is the third largest city in Colombia, it's like a 3 million population town. It's huge, but it gives off like a slower, just town couple family type of vibe, to where Medellin gives off like futuristic, let's go, we're on the go type of vibe. And right. Bogota, of course, gives off that capital city type of energy. So that's why I came out here, because I want to be in a lower energy type of relaxed, peaceful environment. Is that one of the reasons why you kind of like chose where you are and the person who you're with?
I mean, because of who I'm dating and who I met online, it was a blessing that she lived out here and she wasn't in one of the major cities. I'm not a big city guy anyway. I lived in rural areas most of my life. I don't live in big cities if I can help it. I just don't like the crowds. Right. Because I know what crowd behavior happens when there's emergencies. I don't like being around that. So the fact that she lived out here was a big blessing for me to come out here. And I don't mind the solitary type of life being in a province. They have everything you would need in a normal town or suburb. So that's not even an issue. It was just the main thing of meeting her, being in an environment where I can learn. I'm in the lab right now doing AI videos, learning my AI automation, things like that. So it gave me a quiet place to study, but not be too far out of place where I couldn't have access to certain things. I'm a 50-minute flight away from Manila, so I can always hop on a plane. 5 minutes away from the airport. I'm in a safe environment, all that stuff. So, environmentally wise, peace wise, and what do we search for when we're getting close to retirement and wanting to be somewhere? Somewhere with peace. If you're young, yeah, you want to be around all that hustle and bustle and all these other things. As you get older, you're looking for quality of life, not all that noise.
Yeah. That's a great way of putting it. Let's get back to the chart.
Yeah. So these are some of the things, that the Filipino is looking at you for. And these are the things you're giving off when they see you. So you're thinking of it in her perspective. She's looking at you like, okay, you're overeager. You're an entitled expat. You got a broken heart, and some of you guys get drunk and you start telling on yourselves. You tell them everything they need in order to feed off of you. I mean, even when I started dating her, I kind of started exposing her because I know I'm taking her out of a bubble. She's never left this town before. First time we flew into Manila was the first time she got on an airplane.
There we go.
You get what I mean? She's never been anywhere besides maybe the closest big city closer to her. That's it. So as you're exposing these different women to this environment of life in the world, you got to ease them into it. Same thing with money. When you first got your large lump sum of money, your first thing.
I don't want you to forget this point that you were just making.
Yeah, you're taking them out of a bubble, so you got to ease them into it, even exposing them to your own money. What happened when you first got your first lump sum of money? You blew that shit as fast as you got in. Like, where the hell did it all go?
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you learn from that experience. So the next time you got your next large sum of money, you knew, okay, I need to put a little of this up here. I need to put a little of this up in an investment fund. Oh, I need to do this. No, I'm not going to go buy a brand new car with it. You start learning how to utilize your resources to where it lasts longer. So when you're exposing somebody because you have money to every access that you have, you're kind of giving her a sense of entitlement that once you start her down that road, you better keep up. But if you don't start her down that road, then the expectation isn't always there that it's going to be heavy. You get what I mean? Even when I got here, could I buy a car? Yeah, I could have, but I waited. I eased into it, So you have to learn how to ease them. Just like constant communication, you got to learn the environments that you put them into. They're not used to that either. So you got to ease them into certain environments. If you take them from where they live out in the province, maybe never having a lot of the conveniences, and put her up in a damn penthouse because that's your level of living, she's instantly going to think penthouse for the rest of her life. Why would she think anything other? You're painting the picture for her. Now, are you misleading her by doing that? I think you are. That's what we talk about when guys are leading with their wallets. Not leading with trying to establish a real relationship.
And based off of what you were saying earlier, because the key to leading with your wallet, now you have to be consistent with it for years to come. And that's where the fall off comes. For a lot of guys, they can't economically afford to keep somebody in their wallet for 6 months, 2 years, 5 years on the level they could do it maybe on vacation for 10 days.
It happens in America all the time too. Guys start trying to wine and dine a chick. See? And then if you give her an inch, she'll take a mile, right? So if she dictates a date and she wants to go to this 5-star restaurant, and you take her, what did you do? You gave up your power in the relationship and the control of having some kind of levity when it comes to who's running the relationship. It's her way or the highway at that point because you boxed yourself into it. Right?
Correct. And here's something that I want to kind of like, I want to hear your commentary because I have my version of a commentary of this. Shout out to Play with a Passport in the building.
Yo.
You should know everything about her. You should know enough about her. Power of mystery. Go ahead.
He's absolutely right. I mean, Drake, for a year and a half before I got here, I started talking to her.
Right.
You know, I'm online. Everybody's saying you got an internet girlfriend. Let me see that imaging. That's an AI girlfriend, blah, blah, blah picture. She ain't real. I can show you better than I can tell you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So with all the noise and the trolling and all that online, it didn't distract me from my purpose. While other guys are saying they're going to do this, that, and the other thing, and it never came to fruition, I made a plan. I'm here. I've been here for over a year now, and I'm continuing to execute step by step my edict and what I want to do with my life. I mean, in sales, we call it what? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
But you got to start, right? So you start nibbling away at the damn elephant. Eventually, it's going to go away. You're going to consume it all. You know, but you got to take logical steps. It can't be emotional. Even when I got here, everybody's like, "Do you see your girl yet?" No, I'm established my resources. I'm in Manila for the first 30 days. I'm acclimatizing. I'm also getting used to the time zone changes. I'm getting with the embassy. I'm getting with the VA system. I'm making sure all my ducks are in a row first as a man. I'm not running around here like a chicken with my head cut off looking for a female.
Yep.
That was there. It's always going to be there of men of means. It's not something you should have to run out and go seek. It's going to come to you.
It's kind of funny that, you know, I'm listening to you talk and I'm doing a flashback. First of all, a lot of people forget Andre and I first year plus was long distance. You know, I came to Cali, but then I had to go back to Florida. And I'm coming back and forth to Cali. But for the most part, we were a long distance couple. And a lot of people just see us, they're so used to seeing us on camera together and they seeing us together with travel things. They forget that we did a year, almost a year and a half. I would say a year and maybe 4 months of long distance relationship. And so we can relate to what it's like to basically your relationship is over the phone. And I actually wrote this down. You said logical steps, instead of emotional steps. And a lot of guys fall emotionally or lustfully with that woman in another country, especially the gorgeous women in the Philippines and other parts of South, as well as other parts of Southeast Asia. And they don't realize that if you're going to have a long distance relationship and you plan on relocating to these other countries, it does take logic, and it does take, and I'm going to piggyback off what you said, logistics when you first get there. I'm having a flashback of when I did come to Colombia, probably the first 3 months of me and Andre's relationship centered, with me actually being here full time, centered more around logistics than it did the love. It's centered more, the visa, the furniture, the apartment, making sure we got this, making sure we got that, we got everything. We were so busy focusing on logistics when I first came down here. That was the centerpiece of the relationship.
Right.
It was, a lot of guys think that we come down here in the love part and the flowers, and I'm so happy to see you. That's cool. But Ronan is right. When you first move to another country, there is so much behind the scenes that you need logic and logistics, that if that person doesn't understand that.
But Dre, tell them the other part now. While you were easing into these logistics, you were also taking her temperature. If she was changing from what she said on the phone to you being in her presence.
I was about to say that. I was literally about to say that. You get a chance to see how that person actually is going to be with you, just for the logistics in the logical part, not the emotional part. Yes, we're happy to see each other and all that stuff. We're in love, all that's fine. But Ronan is 100% correct. You'll get a chance to see how that person is on a day or week to week basis when it comes to the important things, not just the romantic or the butterfly things. And when I saw that Andrea could take care of the taxes, could make sure that my visa paperwork was taken care of, could making sure that if I need to go to the notary for something, that she made sure she got that. And to this day, she has not changed regarding that. Andrea is the business behind this business of Love Crossing Borders. Andrea does so much behind the scenes for this family. She sets all the appointments. She's the one that's always in the bank if we need to take care of something with the bank accounts, or making sure that we got this taken care of and that taken care of. She's the one that makes sure that the dentist appointments and the doctor's appointments are set. She's the one that drives to make sure that I got my high blood pressure medication if I need that. She's the one that's always at the grocery stores making sure.
But Dre, she's got to keep you alive for the long game. She's got to keep you alive for the long game. You know what I'm saying?
I know, right? And so guys don't realize the my point in saying that, and probably you can attest to that, the logistical part of your woman should never end. Is no matter how long you with her. Me and Andrea been together for going on marriage 7 years, been together 8 years, and that logistical side is constant. And if you have somebody in your life that you can't depend on for anything, she doesn't have to know how to do visas and all that stuff, but she might bring something else to the table that saves you time, where you can stay in the studio and master Claude like I'm trying to do, like you. It's those little things, guys, that if your woman does not bring anything that's logical and logistics to the table, but she just got a big button to smile, it does not matter how much money you have. Because like I said, if you like Ronan said, if you start off with the money, you're going to have to keep that up consistently. And most of us don't. That's why you left the States, because you don't want to consistently have to put up that image of a woman only wanted you for money. And so you're going to end up losing out. And that's why so many men win and so many men lose, because the type of women that they get are not, let's go biblical, they're not helpmeets.
Yeah. This reminds me of a story of a young brother that was in Colombia. We interviewed Being Fearless, and the brother had gotten scoped by a potential employee that he claimed that he brought her to the house to do the interview. Well, the downstairs office area, but they were cleaning, so they had to bring her up to his condo. And in the midst of that, somehow she slipped him something, and he was taken advantage of. She took all his gear and everything. So we were interviewing to get him donations to help him out. But at the end of the day, he said, well, he was a polygamist, so he had 2 other chicks with him, right? That would come in time to time, or they were all in a common relationship. I'm like, well, what happened to the 2 girls that you were dating? Didn't they help you at all? Well, they're going to school and they're doing this, so you're outlaying all this money for them to get their education and everything. But in the time of strike, she didn't have family or anything that can help you doing your situation.
Right.
Man, that's a liability. That's not an asset.
That is so true. Wow, that's crazy. You're polygamous. You got 2 women, and
not one of them can help you.
Not one of them can help you after you got drugged by a person that was potentially supposed to be an employee.
An employee, yeah.
Andrea mentioned to me when I first came to Colombia, she said her mom pulled her to the side and sat her down and said, "That is your responsibility." Not in the sense of, we're not going to help you with Andre, blah, nothing like that, because I'm really close to Andrea's family, and they've been there for me 100 times over. But she was saying that in the sense of, like, there is work to be done if you're serious about this relationship. He is your man, therefore he is your responsibility, just like you are his responsibility. So, and so she knew right out the gate, I got to make sure I take care of this, take care of that, make sure this is done, that's done. Andrea has always done the negotiations for our apartments. Anytime we get in apartments, Andrea does the she actually tells me to shut up most of the time. She said, "Don't say nothing so we don't get gringoed." So
thanks. I showed up down the street and it was a guaranteed $250 to $300. No, it was $250 for a 2-bedroom. The minute I showed up, it went to 3. And then $350. And then the realtor got pissed off, and I'm like, yo, I would have paid the $350 versus $800. You didn't do me no favors by getting mad. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell? But go ahead.
Right. I feel you. Let me bring the chart back up.
So, I mean, you have to be aware when you go over there. If you have not fixed you, and we're going to keep on saying this throughout the show, if you have not fixed you, stay at home. Because you're giving out all these flags for these girls to take advantage of you, first of all. And then all you're going to do is propagate some kind of negative press about how you were taken advantage of, but you still never fixed yourself before you left the country.
So true.
But it's everybody else's fault. I've seen too many guys get on the internet, and I featured a couple of them where they said it was everybody else's fault but their own on why certain things happened to them. Ignored every red flag that the girl was showing, but still wants to blame everybody but themselves. But you told on yourself by the way you went over there.
My brother,
your lack of preparation is not somebody else's problem to fix.
True. That is so true. I was about to say, Elham said this. He said, good people are hard to find. I would have to say this, and I want to hear what you have to say in regards to this, Ronan. When you're a good person, good people are easier to find. If you, I would rather have, for example, let's bring the chart back up real quick. Ronan is showing us red flags of men. Hey, Ronan, could you do me a favor? Could you slide back to the red flag part for me?
Yeah, the Philippine one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay, perfect. Now, this is a list of red flags of us foreigners, not the women, us foreigners that we show women when we go to other countries quite often. I would rather have of these 8 red flags, 6 or 7 that are green. If I have 6 or 7 or maybe that are green and we all not perfect, so I may have 1 that might be red that I got to work on, or 2 that's red I got to work on. I have more of a chance, and I want to hear what you have to say about this, Ronan. I have more of a chance of meeting a good quality woman compared to dudes that have 5 of these red flags and only 3 green, or a dude that has 4 of these red flags and 4 green.
Yeah.
The better person you are when you travel to these other countries, the more chance you have to meeting quality people. Notice I didn't say quality women, because I'm talking about when you go to another country, you're going to be some quality dudes that will help you out and hook you up and got your back, and you're going to meet some quality women. But if you are on this list and you have 7 red flags and only 1 green, yes, it's going to be hard to find good people, a good woman. And I see that all the time. A lot of guys come to these other countries, once again, with a pocket full of money and a bunch of red flags, and they think the women are supposed to ignore the red flags. And they don't. Just like we don't ignore their red flags, they don't ignore ours. I want to hear what you have to say about that, Ronan, in regards to if you're a good person, you have more of a better chance, not a perfect chance, but a better chance to meet good people.
Yeah, because people are people watchers in themselves too. So, I mean, if you're trying to meet a quality woman and she sees that you're going to the bar all the time, you keep asking her, she keeps telling you no, you're not reading the room that she's not a bar girl, and she doesn't want to be associated to that environment because she don't want to be mistaken as a bar girl. That means she has a higher value on her own perception. You're not even reading that. You're thinking, I can go find another girl. F her. I'm going to the bar anyway. And you go and meet the wrong Filipina or the wrong because you went up in a club. When the right girl was standing right next to you, but because she didn't want to go, you didn't read the room.
Yeah.
You lose out more opportunities telling on yourself with all these different, low self-esteem problems, trying to be boastful, this, that, and the other. They look at those things and say, in this person class-wise, he might have all the money in the world, is me. And I don't care if I'm poor.
True. That's so true. And it's funny that you would say that, because I like how you worded that. The woman doesn't even care if she's poor. Even if you have money and she's a quality woman, she won't give you the time of day just based off her qualities, just based off of character. She sees you with a bunch of money. She's happy for you, but she's like, no, I can't date you because of whatever
Mhm.
whatever red flags you hit on this list. And we're not
And
saying-
even
go ahead,
my lady here, her older sister is married to a very wealthy Frenchman,
Mhm.
right? Both of our photos are in the house. Her parents prefer me because their daughter's husband lives in Thailand, has his own condo, all this other stuff. His ex-wife is in Thailand, and she's being kept like a sugar baby.
No.
Yeah. I told you, they sending me food all the time. Her mom's always calling and asking about me, and she'll send food over and say, here's food for my love. Where they could barely stand this guy when he shows up. But he's wealthy. He got a lot of money. But morally and ethically, they don't align with the family's principles.
Correct.
And that matters to a lot of people outside the United States.
And I'm so glad you worded it like that, outside the United States, because there's such a learning curve of character, culture, that we don't realize that cash can't buy. I'll say that again. There is a learning curve that we as foreigners from the West don't realize when it comes to character and culture that our cash can't buy. You can't buy how that culture is. You can't purchase a woman of character. Women without character, you could purchase them all day long. And so what Ronan just stated is absolutely correct. And a lot of us are, once again, back to the laziness, often are too lazy to take the time to learn the character of the person and learn the culture in which they come from, to where we can say, okay, I understand why she's like that. I understand why she still lives with her parents and she's 27, because that's part of the culture until you get married, so that she'll have a covering. Little things like that we don't understand, because in the States, you know, you're 19, 20, you're out the house with no covering. And you wonder why American women can't find a man, because they don't have any covering anymore quite often. And so I have to agree with that. I really do. Elham says this. All right, now I'm getting a coffee. I'm getting a coffee.
Hey, I did not. Hey, bring that up right now. That was not on cue. You just happen to have me on center. I'm just letting you know that was not on cue. All right, but yeah, you can take me off the summer jam though.
Yes, sir. I was not expecting that either. Good morning to both of you. He said, good points. He said, but it takes time in the country. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
He say there are oftentimes a language barrier. I agree with that as well. But I know guys that know Spanish, for example, here in Colombia, and they still don't win. I know guys that have money, bruh. Ronan,
the language doesn't dictate character, man.
Oh my!
You know, the money don't dictate character. What did they say? Money gives you access. Doesn't change who you are. It allows you to be the worst person that you can become.
I got a partner here. This brother got the height. He got the handsome black man looks. He's got the money. He's been around the world. I mean, the dude is doing it. According to how you would want to be as a black man, the dude got it all. He's checked the list. This dude can't win for nothing. For nothing. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about here that's his kryptonite. He has beautiful women, but you talk about women that have no character. And I kid you not, we talk all the time. We have lunch, we have dinner. He's had dinner with Andre and I, and he's always scratching his head like, guys, what am I doing wrong? So he wants a solidified relationship,
right?
But
who wants to run around and wonder in their end days whether that person's there for them or just because?
But
nobody wants to wonder that as a man. Come on.
Yeah. And so that's the problem. So when we sit back and say you can have all those qualities, but if you're not willing to vet and you're too lazy to vet a woman, or if you're one of those guys that's like, I need me a 10 or no one else. And we all know how 10s are when it comes to character. you making a grave mistake no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Let's go back. And Nazarene says this. He say, man, he said, y'all better use Duolingo and translate pickup lines. I know, right? Show some effort. So he said the language helps you navigate more smoothly. This is 1000% correct. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Shout out to the Southern Vegan, my brother LJ. Let's go back to the list.
Yes, sir. Was there anything else you wanted to pull out of that, or you want to get back to D?
This one. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. I'll let you go back to the one that you had a few moments ago.
I mean, but when we're talking about population in the Philippines, yeah, it's damn near overpopulated in some areas and barely populated in others. You know, but the cities are overrun. So obviously, with poverty comes desperation sometimes. So yeah, every Filipino you meet ain't out for. They're not necessarily out for your demise, but if you leave a window of opportunity and they see one of these flags, they're gonna come, and they're gonna feast on your bones.
Oh yeah,
that's about it. I mean, this was just a simple breakdown of what she's talking about. But now that we have this, as you start hearing her talk, you should be able to pull out what she's talking about from the conversation that she's having on her video.
And what I'm going to do for the guys that weren't here earlier, I'm going to bring the video back to the beginning because she wasn't too far deep. We're going to bring it back to the beginning. T-Mac says this. Go ahead, Ronnie. I'm going to come.
No, I'm just letting you know in the back. I'm going to go ahead and email this slide deck to you, or these little slides here, if anybody wants to use them.
Perfect. These are perfect. I was going to ask you for those as well.
Yeah, no problem.
So let's go pull this down. Let's pull the this down here. Let me go back here for us. And I'm going to bring her video for all you guys that weren't here earlier, such as my brother Vibrant, a Vibe being in the building, Vibe Therapy. Shout out to you, my brother Obi being in the building, as well as Your Rent is Due 22. We're going to start the video portion.
That's a good one.
I know, right? We're going to start the video portion back at the beginning of the video, and you guys are going to really like what she has to say. Shout out to D and her channel. And Ronan, if you come across the link to her channel, if you don't mind dropping the link to her channel.
Sure, I can do that.
It's funny to me. The Philippines has over 59 million women. 59 million. That's more women than the entire population of South Korea. And yet somehow, every week there's a 58-year-old man, foreign man, in my comments telling me he's been here for a month and he can't meet anyone. A month in a country of 59 million women with daddy issues that often has a foreigner fetish, and you're struggling? Okay, let's talk about this. I've been watching this play out for years from the inside. I'm Filipino. I was born and raised here in the Philippines. I'm engaged to an American, and I know this world from both angles. And I have some things to say that most people making content about this are not going to say to you. Some of it you're going to agree with, some of it is going to make you uncomfortable, but all of it is true. But before we get into it, and I mean this genuinely, not as a disclaimer I was told to add, this video is not here to attack you. It's not a feminist propaganda. It's not a lecture either. I know those words are loaded now, especially if you've been through modern Western dating experience where every conversation about men feels like an indictment. This is not what it is. I'm a Filipino woman who works with this community, lives inside the culture, and actually wants you to succeed here. I'm going to use words like independent and educated when I talk about some Filipino women, and I need you to hear those words in the way they're meant here, not the way they've been weaponized in Western discourse. In the Philippines, those words don't come with loaded agenda. They just mean women who have jobs and went to school. That's it. If you can hear this with fresh ears, I promise it's going to help you, and settle in. Grab whatever you're drinking and let's actually have this conversation. Hi guys, it's Dee and welcome back to the channel. Make sure you subscribe because if you're going to be one of the 59 million reasons I keep making these videos, you might as well stay for the whole lesson. Now, let's start, of course, at the beginning. Before we talk about what's going wrong, we need to talk about what you were told. There is a version of the Philippines that gets marketed to foreign men, mostly Western men, mostly 45 and older, and it sounds something like this. Beautiful women everywhere. They love foreigners, very traditional, very loyal, easy to approach. Come to the Philippines and your romantic problems are over. And I want to be very clear. Parts of that are true. There are beautiful women here. Cross-cultural relationships absolutely happen, and many of them are wonderful and lasting. The Philippines genuinely is one of the more welcoming places in the world for foreign men to put down roots. That's all real. But the whole narrative gets packaged and sold as if all you have to do is arrive. Like the Philippines is a self-serve situation. Show up, be foreign, collect girlfriend. And that's where it goes from helpful to genuinely misleading. Nobody has exact numbers on how many foreign men are actually living here at any given time. A huge number are on regular tourist visas, coming and going, and they don't show up in official counts. The estimates I've heard from people who track this closely put the real number somewhere around 300,000 or more. What we do know is that arrivals have been climbing consistently, and a significant portion of those men are showing up with the same brochure version of what this place is, and the same confusion when reality doesn't match it. So, let's correct the brochure. The most important thing that I'm going to say in this entire video is this. Finding a girl in the Philippines and finding a decent girl in the Philippines are two entirely different things. Hold onto that for the rest of this video.
Now, like she said, finding a girl in the Philippines and finding a decent girl in the Philippines are two totally different things. You want to reiterate on that again?
No, I just said 100% correct. You know, she's firing on all four cylinders. That's all I can do.
All right.
If your standards are on the floor, yes, someone will find you. Probably in a bar, probably before you finish your first drink. And she'll be very friendly, you know, very attentive, and may seem like exactly what you were looking for. Right up until the moment she isn't. But the men I watch genuinely struggling are usually men who actually have standards. They want someone real, someone to build something with, or at least spend meaningful time with. Someone who actually likes them as a person and not as a financial arrangement wearing a human face. And
Before she goes any further, I want to hear what you have to say about what I'm about to say. Because Colombia is actually a Catholic religious country, it's you peel back the curtain, you pull back the curtain, and you find that this country really is actually a relationship country. I know guys try to sell it on social media that Colombian women are all party girls and pay for playing this. I'm telling you, when you live here and you pull back the curtains, you will find more people walking down the street of all ages, holding hands. People that a younger person will be with their grandmother walking down the street. A grandson is walking with his granddad through the mall. You see so many couples, or among young people, among people that are in college, among people that are older. It's really, Colombia, for the most part, I can say, is really centered around family and relationship. Even though we see what we want to see on the party side, I'm picking that type of vibe up about the Philippines. Am I correct?
Yeah, because they were both colonized by the Spaniards.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So the establishment or the root of the colony or the colonization are equal. You know, how they veered off based on who owned them afterwards or whatever happened. But ultimately, yeah, the Catholic religion, the Spaniard traditions, you know, there's a caste or class system. There's a hierarchy when it comes to society. and people will look down on people that have lost their morals or ethics. Like a bar girl could never talk to a girl that came from a higher class or higher caste system, meaning she's never belittled herself. Her family has old money. They have lands. You would never catch her in certain areas just because it wouldn't be becoming of her. You get what I'm saying? They carry themselves that way. Same thing here. They carry themselves in a way that they won't be associated with certain things like that.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that because it's the same way here. It's a classism, caste system type of society, to where if you weren't born to old money, or if you aren't trying to advance and take yourself out of certain economic positions, you might not ever be around the country club type of environment. And so you're absolutely correct. Even just basic environments, like you may not be even can afford to be around people that are bowling or roller skating or the fishing, people that like to go out fishing, because that person in Colombia or even in the Philippines just can't afford, by way of time, to go out fishing or to go out bowling or to go sport fishing on a yacht or whatever it may be. So a lot of times guys don't realize that. And so let's continue on with the video, but she's absolutely correct. If you guys, I'm going the opposite, but she's absolutely correct. If you guys are looking for quality women, you guys are gonna have to realize they're not in the nightclub in most of these countries. I know you're gonna meet some women in clubs, but just like most of us don't find a wife in the clubs in the state, so it is outside of the states.
And those women, the ones with their own lives, their own self-respect, they are not going to approach you. They are not chasing you. They will barely acknowledge you first, regardless of what you look like or how much money you have.
Is that true?
Yeah, and they're conservative. They're not going to approach you first. You're going to have to be bold enough to want to have a conversation. And if you're traumatized because of American women, you don't know how to open your mouth, you're going to see plenty of them walk by you that you might have had an opportunity to talk to.
The reason why I asked you that, because a lot of guys don't realize Colombia is the same way. The quality women are not going to come your way as far as walking up to you. They will look you straight in the eye. But if you don't say anything and you don't walk up to them, they won't.
They'll smile and keep walking.
Now, here's the kicker, Ronan. Here in Colombia, I don't know about there, the ones that do run up on you, that's your warning sign. If you got 3 or 4 women that's all over you like that, that's not a flex in Colombia. T-Mac can tell you that. Will can tell you that. And a lot of brothers that actually are here in Colombia, they can tell you the quality women ain't running up on you in packs like that. You will not have a pack of women that are about their business running up on you just because you're a foreigner. It does not.
They're about their business, but they ain't about the right kind of business. It's the problem.
Tis true. Tis true. Yes, sir. Tis true. But yeah, I just want to emphasize on that, because she was right. If you are quality women, and you were correct, quality women, I notice they'll give you that look, that come hither. They'll even, if you're dancing with a friend of theirs, they'll hope that the friend introduces you to them. But as far as them actually coming up on you from out of nowhere, that normally doesn't happen. That rarely happens. Even it doesn't matter how much gold you got flying around your neck and the shiny chain and the Versace shirts. Quality women do not approach like that. They just don't. And so when she mentioned that, and Ronan mentioned that, I'm telling to you guys about Colombia too. It's the exact same thing. Give a shout out to my man Yvins. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He say, my good gentleman, secure question. He said, do you believe the love that your respective women express to you will prevent her from entertaining other men? I'll let you answer that first, and then you know how I run off my mouth.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she doesn't even talk to other guys if it's not something to do with business that she's conducting on a day-to-day basis. And like I said, I might be here. She might be getting ready to step out with her family because I'm working at home. She's covered. I mean, nobody's walking near her within the family circle without them being approached. Like, no, she's taken. Oh, she's got a man. No, that's not happening. And even if she was by herself, which she's never wanting to be by herself, she's always attended or she's always with somebody the whole time. I've never seen her go anywhere by herself.
And then okay, let me ask you this, because I'm going to piggyback. That's a good question, by the way, brother. I'm going to piggyback off of that, but I want to ask you this. But why you? Why is the faithfulness and the focus to you? And I'm going to answer that question to myself too, but I want to hear what you have to say, because before you, put it like this, before you came along, her life like that. So why is it that you feel comfortable with her love being what it is towards you, and it is not being challenged unnecessarily?
One, she won't put herself in that predicament. Two, the level of conversation we have when she comes out of the blue to say how much she appreciates something that I'm not even thinking is a big deal. The level of appreciation that comes from this woman is crazy. The things she says out of the blue that aren't warranted, didn't need to be said, and she says it freely about how she observes how much I do for her, how much she's done, and how greatly she appreciates even little things. She's being very observant and very intentional, even by the way I treat her. And she lets me know that by the conversation we have with each other. We just had a conversation on the couch the other day about checking in on certain things. And she brought up the conversation. She goes, let's talk for a minute. We paused the laptop. We were downstairs having a little snack, and we had a full-blown conversation out of the blue on certain things she wanted to be, exactly brought up on speed on. So those type of things where she's very intentional about paying attention to what you're doing and how she appreciates it without having to say a thing.
Yep.
You having to prod her to say it. You already know she's looking at you deeper than regular.
Yeah, that I can concur to. I get not only, men want peace and we want respect and that we want peace, but I kid you not. Can I say it like this, Ronan? I did not appreciate being appreciated until I was appreciated.
Yeah, it comes shockingly at you at first. You're like, what? You didn't even have to say that.
I was more used to getting a hot meal from Andrea. I was not expecting this level of loving appreciation of my manhood, of the fact that I don't give up, the fact that I overcame my past to become a totally different person. The fact that how I dress, I could have came down here and not had a fashion sense of a decent polo shirt. Just little things, man, that you don't realize your woman is watching, and she appreciates little things about you. And this is the funny part. It's not just appreciation about things that you do for them.
It's not money. It's not even money.
For yourself. They appreciate the fact that you take care of yourself, how your energy, you make sure you get proper sleep. You make sure that you're eating healthy. They appreciate and are happy for you. And so piggybacking off of the question, I'll even say this, the same thing with Andrea. Andrea spends maybe 70% of her time when she jumps in that truck. Easily 70% of her time is with her family. Easily. When Ronan says that his woman is covered, I can relate to that because that's how Andrea is. With all Andrea friends, because Andrea is an old soul, her friends are in their late 30s, early 40s.
It's funny you said that. Oh, so she goes, back in my day. I'm like, girl, do you realize how old you are? What you mean back in your day?
bruh. Bruh, when you date an old soul, man, it's the funniest thing because they really think that they are older than what they are. And in a sense, when it comes to maturity and character, they are. So that's another thing to bring back to the question that the brother asked. When you are with a younger woman, but she has an old soul, she really isn't even attracted to men her age. Andrea notice men there, Andrea like the brothers, right? And so she'll notice men, but Andrea is not into. She said, I gave a young dude a chance one time. It ain't for me. So that's another thing that you guys have to realize that makes our relationship so solidified. The communication. These women communicate with us openly about everything. We are able to communicate with them about certain things because of their maturity. Because they don't act silly for their age or childish for their age. And so we can sit down and have true conversations with them. I know Ronan sits back with his girl and has solidified conversations about insurance, long-term economics. Because you look, is it just me, Ronan? I personally look at Andrea and say, man, if I was 31, man, I would have had this in the bank, that investment, So I now do all that for Andrea. Make sure you have this, make sure you have that, make sure you economically have this, make sure you do all the stuff that I wish somebody had pulled my coattail at 31. Right. Now I've got somebody in my life that's not some silly little young lady that wants to party all the time, but somebody that's got a pen in hand, ready to take notes on how she can economically, by the time she hits 40, 50, 60, be far more stable than a lot more people that are surrounding her or in the community. And so
now tell me this, don't you kind of live vicariously through her new experiences of being married? Isn't that like a joy to you just to watch her through her eyes experience something maybe you've already done?
Whether it be travel, whether it be a certain food or certain restaurants, whether it be going to, like when we went to go see the Nutcracker, not the Nutcracker Suite. What's the Nutcracker? The Russian ballet. I think it was the Nutcracker Suite for Christmas.
Yeah, Nutcracker is one. Yeah.
We went to go see that ballet and we had a great time. And so to go to jazz events and discover new things, I've been to certain places and certain things in certain countries. She hadn't. So to sit back and just look at life vicariously, just even style.
Yeah.
Even the style of fashion. I go and sometimes I'll show Andrea photos of when we first met and how she used to have the colorful sundresses and with the flowers all over it and the long dresses. And now she dresses with this elegance of an adult woman. Her whole attire is completely different. And so it's cool to sit back and even watch. And I know you can attest to this. Just watch the evolution of a woman. And here's the last thing I want to say to answer the brother's question. My woman, Henri, bruh, we talk about a Scorpio. She just straight Henri, Scorpio or not. My woman is one of those women, you look at her too long, she gonna get that look like, what do you want? You gonna get your feelings hurt trying to walk up on Andrea. Now that I can attest to. That I can attest to. Andrea is one of those people that just I leave out the house because I have to. And when I leave, I'm going to my family's house. I'm going to hang out with my friends. I'm going to take care of business, or I'm back home. I am not out there just to be out there. And so when she is out, Andrea, Andrea's one of the females, man, you do not want to walk up on talking about, oh, girl, you look so good. You going to end up walking away and you're going to end up saying something under your breath because you're mad. And so there are women that are out there, younger women, that don't like attention like that. Okay, yes, God bless them with beauty, but they don't like that type of attention in real life. Like, they enjoy style and fashion, like attention from us, their man, and attention from their friends, and maybe a little social media attention. But as far as like attention from total strangers. No, Andrea don't like that. She does not like attention from total strangers. Even though she's got the nice smelling perfume on and she's looking jazzy for the day, she still like, she's not one of those look at me type of women. Does your woman give off that same type of energy?
Yeah, I mean, hell, you've seen her. She don't even like being on camera half the time. You got to drag her in front of a camera. She don't want that kind of. She don't want that kind of popularity. You know, every once in a while I'll drag her on the camera or something, or she'll get on the camera to do something, but she doesn't want to be known like that. There's too many. Let's put it this way: there's too many negative undertones to being an IG girl or this girl or that girl or being on TikTok too much, and it's all about, you know, where you're driving them once they get on that site. You're taking them somewhere else, so she don't even want to be associated to that stuff.
No. Obi says this. He said, Dre, a random question. Were you affected by the earthquake? Very much so. Like I said, our apartment, you guys just see the background right here, but you guys don't see that our apartment looks like a puzzle from all the cracks and all the broken items that we're trying to replace, as well as relocate. The building across the street is going to have to be demolished. We were here when it all happened. You know, and then the other part of your question, Andre, were you affected by the earthquake? I'm still affected. I'm mentally trying to each day. Shout out to all you guys like T Mac and Jay Jay Fleming and Todd, all these guys, Uriah that I talk to, Victor 0 milligram that I talk to on a regular everyday basis that reach out to me. Hey, Dre, are you all right today? How you doing? Andrea always asking me how I'm doing, because, you know, as the man, you know, you kind of hold all that in, and that's not healthy. And so I get a chance to talk to you men about the mental part of dealing with this earthquake and all the loss of lives as many of my neighbors across the street. And then they're going to demolish their building. A brand new building that's only been up for 5 years is going to be torn down not because of the foundation wasn't strong as an earthquake, but the apartments weren't. And so it's crazy, Ronan, that when the sun goes down, it's extra dark in our apartment.
Yeah.
Lights out, because there are no neighbors with their lights on anymore. You know how you turn your lights out to go to bed and your neighbors have a light.
The ambient, you get that ambient light.
Right. You have none of that because nobody's living next door anymore. Our apartment building is dang near empty. You know, we've had the insurance adjusters come in and out over the last couple of weeks. We had the person come back and fix the pipes because the pipes got impacted. They came back today. We're supposed to be reaching out to the builders of this building. The construction company has their own insurance to cover this. So we also have our insurance, and then the construction.
Man, I'm just praying for you to find a place right now in the name of Jesus that's outside of an apartment, but a whole house.
Yeah, that's exactly
a house.
That's what we're looking for. We're actually looking for that. We're actually even consider the house that's a little bit further up in the townhouse region that so we're looking at that as well. And we reached out to the brother that we interviewed. The guy that we interviewed a couple of days ago, Daniel here in Columbia, the realtor. I reached out. He's supposed to be reaching back out to me. He said, Dre, I got your message. I'll be reaching out to you. I'm going to check some things out. But so many people are looking to get houses right now.
Because
of, you know, everybody's still shook up. I ain't gonna even lie to you. So, but thanks for asking, brother. Yeah, I try to say that we're okay, but we're getting there. We're getting there, and we're better each day. Each day we're better. I appreciate you guys asking. Yeah. So yeah, in the name of Jesus, I'm looking to have a home. Yep, real soon. And let's continue on with the video.
And this confuses
I'll bring
people.
this back a little bit to let guys know, see where we were.
She'll be very friendly, very attentive, and may seem like exactly what you were looking for. right up until the moment she isn't. But the men I watch genuinely struggling are usually men who actually have standards. They want someone real, someone to build something with, or at least spend meaningful time with. Someone who actually likes them as a person and not as a financial arrangement wearing a human face. And those women, the ones with their own lives, their own self-respect, they are not going to approach you. They are not chasing you. They will barely acknowledge you first, regardless of what you look like or how much money you have. And this confuses people. It confuses them badly because they were told women here love foreigners, so why is nobody making eye contact with me? Here's why. There is a word in Filipino culture, Tagalog word, mahinhin. It describes a kind of reserved, composed, modest femininity that Filipino women are still largely raised to embody. Don't be too loud, don't be too forward, don't chase a man, let him come to you. This is still, even today, a very real cultural operating system for most Filipinas, especially outside of Metro Manila. And the traditional Filipino courtship system, panliligaw, puts the man entirely in the role of pursuer. He visits her home, he endures the slightly awkward dinners with the family, he brings pasalubong, he shows up repeatedly, consistently.
Okay, I saw you laugh.
Pasalobo, legal, and then there's a culture behind the women because of Catholic religion. There's a famous individual woman, her name is Maria Clara, and they aspired to be like her. Okay, her virtues were very pure, her intentions were pure. She stayed with the church until she had a fiance, and I think she wound up killing herself or got killed in the church because so many men were seeking her. So, but look her up. Her name's Maria Clara, but that's the principle of how women try to carry themselves: reserved, virtuous, and then, like I said, with the other things. So that's why she's saying what she's saying. But legal is how I came here, is basically in a mode of courtship. Pasalobo is a tradition that you give gifts when you show up as a tradition. If you take a trip, you buy something to bring back to the family, no matter where you go. And that's what pasalobo.
It's kind of funny that you say that. That's how it is here.
Spanish, right?
Yeah, I know, right? A lot of people don't realize how close the cultures are because of being both countries being in kind of like ruled by Spain at one point in time. It's like that here in Colombia. Like Andrea's family will go somewhere and it doesn't matter. They're going to bring back bread from that country or a dessert from that city, or I don't care if it's magnets full of mirror. It's going to be some type of gift. And even though they've been back and like Andrea's family will go back and forth to Medellin. It's like every time they go back and forth, bringing back this, bringing back that. But we're the same way. We, no matter what country we go to, there's always something that we bring back for, okay, we got to get this one for this family member and we got to get that for that family. So it's always like somebody who we're getting stuff for as well. And it was never like that in the States. I've never experienced that until I came to Colombia, how much people give and receive to each other. And that's one of the things that also help families stay close.
Let me bring up this one point. There's been so many nightmare stories about foreigners coming here and the potential fiance or whoever invites the whole damn family.
Right.
Everybody doesn't do that. And my lady here, she's disassociated from her extended family. So her aunts or uncles or whoever don't even know we live in a gated guarded community. They don't know anywhere we live at. The only thing they've ever seen was that truck every once in a while. So they know I'm here, but they ain't never met me. Nor do they have a desire. Do they have a desire of introducing me to them? Even the only person that comes by this house is maybe her father and her siblings. Wow. Other than that, there is a distance that's even kept in respect with the immediate family of her family, or her brother and sisters and everybody else. So, there's a level to this thing, and you can either accept it or not accept it, or you can set limits. A lot of guys come over here and don't set standards or limits, and they allow themselves to be taken advantage of.
Wow. I can understand that completely. Because Andre's family somewhere like that too.
Patiently, and she evaluates. That's the framework, and it's been the framework here for generations, reinforced heavily by about 300 years of Spanish Catholicism, layered on top of already traditional indigenous values. Now, modern Filipino women are not all sitting around waiting for a man to formally present himself to their parents before agreeing to coffee. Dating has changed. Apps are normal. Meeting someone online first is completely unremarkable. But underneath all of that modernization, the cultural instinct around initiation has largely survived. The average decent Filipina is still not going to walk up to a stranger and introduce herself. And there's a Filipino concept called hiya, usually translated as shyness, but it's actually more like a deep social self-awareness, a consciousness of how you're perceived, and hiya still shapes how women present themselves publicly here, especially around men they don't know. So here's the paradox you need to understand. The women who are aggressively coming toward you are the ones operating outside the norm. And the reason they're operating outside the norm is usually because they've made a very deliberate calculation about what you represent. Meanwhile, the women you would actually want to meet are standing 10 feet away pretending they can't see you. I know, sounds exhausting. But here's the flip side that I don't think gets said enough. This actually works in your favor. If women here don't initiate, you get to do the choosing. You don't have to wait to be picked, you get to look around, decide who interests you, and make a move. A lot of men in their 50s feel like they lost that somewhere along the way in Western dating culture. Here it is, sitting on the table. The only question is whether you know how to use it. Alright, this is where we get real, and I'm going to go through the actual reasons men struggle here. Some of these you'll recognize immediately. Some of them you'll push back on for about 3 days before admitting I was right. That's fine. I'm patient. First reason is that you might have brought your Western dating wounds with you and they're showing.
Ooh. You may have brought your Western dating wounds with you and they're showing.
Right. That's fine. I'm patient. First reason is that you might
have brought your Western dating wounds with you and they're showing. No woman in the world wants to be around a sad sack. Wants to be around the guy with the energy. You just got divorced. You're talking about your ex bad. I'm going to say something. I'm so glad that I didn't have a tempestuous divorce, and I wasn't married to a horrible person, because I don't know what it's like to tell your tell your spouse, your current girlfriend, all these horror stories all the time, because that would be tiring to me. That would be tiring.
Having to re-explain yourself all the time and why you think a certain way. That's crazy. But we're both Libra men. We can we burn bridges. We don't look to go backwards.
That's true too.
What's that phrase? The best way to achieve something is burn a bridge so you can't retreat. You only can go forward.
That's it.
We think that way. We don't think like, oh, well, I want to circle back around. I don't give a damn.
No.
When I'm done with you, I'm done.
That's it. So a lot of times guys don't realize, don't be talking about your ex-girlfriends or the women in America this, the women in America that. Yeah, that's true to a certain extent. And I understand that you lost half your pension, in the divorce, but that is not the woman in the Philippines or the woman in DR or the woman in whatever country's fault. So don't spew on her something that she's never even experienced or understand what you're talking about when it comes to what happened in your divorce or with your ex-girlfriend. A lot of guys lose out on good women because we're talking too much. Overkill. Overkill. Let's go back to the video.
Might have brought your Western dating wounds with you and they're showing. A lot of men coming here, particularly the over 50 crowd, are not arriving from a place of romantic confidence. They're arriving from somewhere that felt like rejection. like a divorce. Years on apps where they felt invisible, a culture that told them they were too old, too ordinary, or not enough. And I understand that. That's genuinely painful and it leaves marks. But those marks don't disappear when you land. They travel with you in how you carry yourself, in how much eye contact you make or avoid, in a kind of low-level apology energy that some men project without even realizing it. Filipino women are exceptionally good at reading people, most of us. They've had to be, because, culturally, they're not the ones who set the terms of an interaction, so we've spent our whole lives observing, and we can read insecurity from across a coffee shop. Low self-esteem doesn't read as humble or endearing.
I'm not going to let you slide with that one, Ronan. Is this true?
Yeah, I try to tell people you can't finesse a Filipino. This is generations of dealing with Americans and foreigners here. There's nothing, like I said, you can come over here with some kind of game or some kind of finesse and think they ain't seen it before. They've written books on Americans. You know how many American military guys have married bar girls, taken them to the land of the great PX, and gotten divorced 2.5 years later with a couple kids attached to them? It was terrible. I mean, and you had guys, a whole squadron of guys or a platoon of guys saying, yo, man, that's a bar girl. What's wrong with you? But they ain't never had it. They're the old incels back in the day.
Wow.
They still had to marry that girl. They didn't care. They were going to save her. They had their capes on. They were military guys. They could change her. They could save her and bring her out of that poverty. No, you can't. Not if she don't want to be.
Yeah, that's true. So true. So true.
Here, it reads as unstable. A woman deciding whether a man is worth her time is asking herself whether he's grounded and safe, and someone who seems deeply unsure of himself doesn't communicate either of those things. Work on this before you worry about anything else. Seriously. Next, you are confusing entitlement with confidence, and they are not even close to the same thing.
That's a great point. When you land in any of these countries, don't think because you got money in your pocket that you the man in their eyes. Some, like she said, you are confusing entitlement, your economic entitlement, with confidence. And that's not the same. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. You want to say something on that, Ronnie?
No, she hitting the bullseye, man. I mean, like, let them fly.
Yeah. There you go.
On the other end of the spectrum, and this one is hard to see on yourself, some men show up here with a very particular kind of arrogance. A vibe that says, I'm Western, I have a pension, I'm doing you a favor by being interested in you. I didn't have to do the voice, did I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
yes, you did. Because it is dudes that act like that.
Hey, T-Mac said something that's important about San Diego. And that's why I say this is a history. Here's the thing. People don't know how to read. They don't know how to do their research. And they definitely don't know how to listen to other people that have already experienced it. He's basically saying in San Diego, there were a lot of Filipino Navy wives who looked for affairs at the same time, bar while their husbands were on Westpacks. We used to call them Jodies. Jody is back screwing your woman while you out on Westpac doing whatever you're doing with serving the military. So you never knew whether your wife was going to be at home or your girlfriend was going to be at home, or even if she was, how many dudes she might have run through. You can't drive yourself crazy like that. Yeah. But a lot of guys did. A lot of guys did. A lot of guys started to end themselves when they got that letter or videotape saying, hey, they're thinking they're getting a sexy videotape and all the guys are looking behind. Next thing you know, a dude pulls up and she's filming herself getting hit up by Jody.
Wow.
To break up with him.
That's
cool. Oh yeah. So anything y'all dealing with, bro, it's been going on. American military, we've suffered. We've taken the hits for you. And you guys are still wanting to take more hits. Y'all hard-headed.
You guys already know about what's going on, and these guys
Yeah.
don't.
You don't have to go back through what we went through. We could tell you, yo, don't go down that road. I'm trying to tell you. But, you know, they got to learn on their own.
Yeah, and that's what that is. Yep. Let's go back here. Shout out to Leo in the building.
Anyway, I get where it comes from. The internet told you that you are a prize here. The forum said Filipino women love foreigners, and maybe you had a few early interactions where women were very attentive, and you misread what that attention was actually about. And now you've got a swagger that is not landing the way you think it is. Here's the reality check, and I'm saying this without any political agenda attached to it. Filipino women who have their lives together know their own value. The women you're talking to might have a nursing degree, support her entire family, and speak 3 languages. She doesn't feel lucky that you're here. She just sees
7.
a guy who's a bit much. Confidence says, I know who I am. I'm genuinely interested in you. I have something real to offer. Entitlement says, you should want me. I don't really need to try one of these open doors, you know? The other one gets you very politely ignored, and Filipinos are exceptionally skilled at polite. The next one is that you might be trying too hard and it is doing the opposite of what you want. The flip
That is so true. I know a lot of guys like that. Dude, you trying too hard. Just one of the things that guys I've been saying, you've been hearing me say this for the longest. Be yourself. The type of women that are quality that you want will gravitate to your sphere for you to walk up to and meet when you're being yourself. But when you're trying to pretend like you're this other dude because you're on vacation mode or you're on relocation mode, I'm telling you, you're going to meet women that are not parallel to who you are. In other words, you're trying too hard. What do you have to say about that, Ronnie?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that come over here and, you know, you have a blue book, so it kind of goes to your head a little bit. You get all this niceness, and Filipinos are exceptionally nice and polite, and sir and ma'am and all the things you want to hear, you know, and they're very, very, very respectful and very soft spoken, you know. So it's kind of like comforting. So you're like, okay, I got this. I got the money. You know, these women are, you know, they're desperate because I'm wealthier than them. But no, bro, it's the setup, especially depending on where you're meeting them. They know if they stroke your ego a little bit, you're going to spend a little bit more. Stroke your ego some more, you're going to fall in love. You can get the girlfriend experience at that point. She's going to cook for you. She's going to come clean your house. She'll even clip your nails. Okay? But she ain't into you, especially if you're not staying here. And that's the biggest thing with the Philippines. Don't think you got a long distance girlfriend and she working in the club system. Now, if she out in the province, just maybe. But if she's in a city, Cebu, BGC, Angeles City, some other ones, Baguio, those are expat cities. Man, stop. If you ain't talking to her, she got about 5 other dudes talking to her and a whole bunch of them hitting her while she's on the street.
Wow.
It's not that easy. And they're smart, by the way. They're all educated. They all have to have college degrees before they can actually get a job. And they can't have tattoos exposed to be a professional. So if she's a professional woman, she doesn't have any tattoos, she's well educated. My lady speaks 7 languages.
Wow.
Okay? They're not dumb. So all that negative propaganda that, oh, you're going over to get a poor woman that's uneducated and they're mud feet. Nah. They might come out the mud, but they damn intelligent as hell.
That's right. That's right.
Side of arrogance is overeagerness, and it kills things just as fast. The guy who compliments her 3 times in the first 5 minutes. The guy who texts 8 times before she's replied once. The guy who tells a woman he barely knows that she's the most incredible person he's ever met. Every time I see this, I want to take that man aside and just say, slow down. Filipino courtship has always valued patience and consistency over intensity. A man who can't pump the brakes reads as someone who doesn't know how to read a room, or worse, someone so starved for connection that he's going to be a lot to manage. Neither is appealing. Dial it back and let things breathe. The next reason is that you are not presentable and you think that doesn't matter here. I'm going to be direct because I think you can handle it. Some of you are showing up in clothes that fit like they were bought in a different decade or for a different body.
Come on now.
Not the baby dinosaurs.
I know, right? From the Godzilla movies. From the Godzilla movies.
That's too much.
Got the baby Godzilla over there. Got the baby Godzilla repping the tap out.
I don't know if you remember in the, I think it was the 80s or yeah, it was the 80s. It was a like a not claymation, but it was like puppet type of show called Dinosaurs. That's the baby.
Yep.
That's the baby. The one who kept on singing, not the mama. Every time the dad would try to get him to say dada, he'd be like, not the mama.
I remember that one. Wow. There is a Will says this. Shout out to Will Bolden in the building. Will says this. He said she needs to specify which foreigners they prefer, which is white.
That's not true.
Now, I don't think that's true either.
That's not true. You gotta, okay, let me give you a little culture here. If you do your history lesson in the Philippines not only was fought and won by the United States, but they also have Buffalo Soldiers over here.
Yes, they did.
You understand what Buffalo Soldiers are? Right after the Civil War, Buffalo Soldiers and Black American soldiers went over here to fight the Spanish. They won. A guy named David Fagan, look him up. Okay. He helped start the revolution against the Americans in the occupation of the Philippines.
Yes, he did.
Eventually was hunted down, and a lot of black soldiers were killed because once we won over the Philippines, they tried to turn the Filipinos into the second version of a nigger. Okay, and we weren't having it after winning our own freedom to sit there and win somebody else's freedom and let them be called that too? Nah. So we all broke away from the United States Army and started a revolution to help them fight for their own freedom. Beside for the fact that the Melanesian people are dark-skinned people with curly hair and the most genetically pure race is the Eta people up in the mountains right around where I'm at. Matter of fact, my lady knows some of the Eta people in the mountains, and they're in different mountain regions, and all they are farmers and gatherers. They hunt their own food, they farm, but they are, I would say, the blackest version of what an Asian would be. They eat everything from the rooter to the tutor when it comes to a pig. So how can we have so much in common with them, but you don't think they prefer us? What they're taught is to hate their color. They even dye their skin. My lady has naturally curly hair. A lot of them straighten their hair. You know, because they're taught to be ashamed of, through colonization, who they really are. And some of them are waking up to that. So it's not necessarily true. White people have treated them badly too. But in order to become wealthy, sometimes you get motivated to pretend to be something you're not, right? That's not necessarily true. Don't let that win you over to the day. Filipinos like black men. They love us once they get to know us. The only thing they have is a reputation right now, what they see on the media. But once you get over here and they get to know you, I just told you a white, rich, filthy rich Frenchman is less preferred than me as a black man and a family. So how are you telling me black men are less desired here in the Philippines? There's no way. They adopted our culture way quicker and are used to it and can identify. My lady was bullied for her dark skin. Are we not bullied because of our skin? There is too much alike for us to say that they don't like us than to say that they do.
True.
I just wanted to give you that little history lesson so I can break y'all down on that, because that's not true. Don't let people propagate that, Filipinos have a problem with black men. They're non-judgmental when it comes to how they're being treated and respected. That's the biggest thing. Do you respect them, or are you going to treat them like they're less than? Because I guarantee you your white counterpart is treating them like they're less than.
True. That's a great way of putting it. For me, from just from my hypothesis of what, thank you, babe, of watching black men and white men, first, outside of the military, so we're going to take this out the military. First reason why I say that it may seem like different cultures are more into white men. They've been traveling a lot longer than we have as a mass. So when you have 10,000 white guys coming to a country per year compared to 300 black guys, it will come across as they're into them more. Secondly, they've been doing it longer than us. A lot of us as a unit of black people, whether it be from the UK or the United States or Canada, we've only been doing, let's be honest, guys, as far as a mass, outside of our military brothers, we've only been doing it like 20, 25 years. Now, some of you guys can say, well, I was traveling. I'm talking about as a mass unit, the way that we're traveling now, not the individuals. So this is brand new to us as far as time. So we don't have the same quantity that white men have when it comes to landing in these countries. And we don't have the same quantity of time that people have gotten used to white men in all these other countries. So that's the two things that people make the mistake of. Thirdly, you are not looked up on as a lick. I hate to say it, my white brothers. I hate to say it. You black brothers aren't looked up on as a lick or an ATM machine, if you will, as easily as the historical travels of our white brothers. So there easily is, if it was a brother walking down the street right now from the States and a white dude walking down the street in Colombia, they're going to go up to that white dude because he looks easier to con out of money, because historically they have been easier to con out of money, because historically they've been coming to these countries in masses to be conned out of money. So to see us as a lick is kind of like a brand new thing, because we're outside of the military, are traveling as people of color, like I said, just the last 10, 20 years in a massive group. So it does look in your eyes like the white man coming up, but we don't realize how much longer he's been doing it and how much in a massive group they travel compared to us. We still trying to get black people to travel. We are a rare breed that got passport.
Yeah. Matter of fact, if you pull that slide up while you're talking, it demonstrates that. I just gave you a little bar slide.
Let me bring this down and bring this back up on stage.
No, that other one, the one next to it.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, that one. That shows you how many black people have a passport. Out of 2.9 million passports, only 2% of us, and that's black females and males. Out of 2.9 million Americans that actually are voting age that have passports. That's not very many, causing great ripples like we do, but because of our shine, because of the way we carry ourselves, our flex, we affect a lot when we move around this planet.
Yeah.
And we're barely scratching the surface of having passports.
Yep. Absolutely correct. Absolutely. I'm glad that you pulled that slide of statistics, because we say it and guys don't. When I say how blessed we are to be chosen to have passports outside of you military brothers, guys don't realize how blessed they really are to have passports outside of the military, brothers, or government contract workers, because the average everyday walking down the street Black American does not own, does not think about, does not even want to have a passport. And so that is another reason why so many white brothers have the upper hand on us, because like you said, as you're showing, 80%, there are more Hispanics that have passports, you know, going back and forth, going to home to see family. Other races have passports, but Black Americans, we're known for a lot of things. Passport ownership is not one of them. And so when I hear Black men compare ourselves in this travel space to what white men have or are accomplishing, it shouldn't be even. They've been doing it a lot longer, and they have had passports, and they own more passports. So yes, you're going to see more white guys out here because in being able to take advantage of opportunities, because not because of racism, but because of we have not been out here. Now you can go back.
The greatest thing that shows with that too, Dre, is it also demonstrates that Black men are painted with a broader brush.
True.
We mess up, it's amplified tenfold. That's what we used to say in the military. If we mess up something, the globe gets to know that somebody in the military did something in the world somewhere while they were on leave. One American military person does something, everybody in the planet knows about it. That's almost amplified by a Black traveler. The same way. That's crazy.
And I'll sell this final product. And I know Ronan will say the same thing. I don't give a dang about who likes what Black or white man. I don't care. When I land in a country, dude, this is Dre. I don't care if none. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all want the truth? Here we go. I don't care if, shout out to mama. I don't care if none of you brothers get no woman. I'm gonna get one. I don't care if I land in Poland. I don't care if I landed in Turkey. If I was single and I landed in Istanbul, and don't none of you brothers get no Istanbul coochie, no Turkey coochie, I'm gonna get some. My confidence is that high that I don't even waste my time worrying about what the white man doing in Medellin. When I got there in 2015, 2006, I wasn't worried about no white dude. I was like, hey, I'm here. So why you guys are so, I find too many brothers complaining about they choose the white man. Right? I've been hearing this narrative for so many years, but we don't analyze the logistics of it. Like we just
said. Choose to be respected and honored over a white man any day.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And I'm gonna tell you something. You know who helped get? I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all ready? You know who often help you get some coochie from these foreign women? The idiotic white dude, because they come to these countries and act so idiotic, and then you go to that country and you act like you got some sense. You get the women. You didn't have to come out your pocket like the white dude did. Why? Because they came over on some idiotic stuff. And now you shining like a diamond, Black man. It ain't that many of you traveling with passports, so you're shining like a diamond. You don't come across countries acting a fool outside of the pookies, so you're shining like a diamond. You act like a gentleman and act like you got some sense, and so now you shining like a diamond. A part of that is because these white dudes been acting a fool because they've been doing it so long. So they don't appreciate women around the world like we do. And so I'm telling you, the last thing that's ever been on my mind with traveling is what the white man doing. How many
or even competing against them.
Yeah, I ain't never looked at the white dudes as competition in the States. I'm smashing his woman, his mama. If his daughter old enough, she was getting smashed. Her daughter's friends was getting smashed. Dude, I never was one of them dudes that cared about a white dude. I ain't never had a white dude that was my competition. I never looked at Tom Brady as a competition, cause I'm gonna smash Tom Brady's wife. I'm gonna smash his sister. I'm gonna smash his female cousins. I ain't never looked at Tom Brady or any other white dude like, oh man, he white. I guess I ain't gonna get no white women because they only want the white. Shh. I ain't never been that brother. I ain't never been like that with Latin men. Oh man, my Spanish ain't good. I guess I can't get no Latin coochie because my Spanish. Shh, I wish I would tell y'all a lie and say I ain't getting no Spanish coochie and I ain't no Spanish. I ain't no lick of Spanish in Florida, and I'm running through them. Middle Eastern women, dude, I don't know how to speak their language, but I know how to fucking good. So when it comes to mentally sowing that seed, that's what me and Ronan's point is. Black men, there's not that many of us that travel. I'm asking y'all now, stop sowing that seed of what the white man is doing and focus on what you should be doing. I don't care about the polls of the white man and what he's doing. His idiocy is really making me look good and making you look good. So stop. If you land in Germany, I don't care nothing about none of the white dudes in Germany. I would be single running through them. Sweden, Switzerland, Norway, Austria, Australia. Man, I'm running through them. I don't care about no white dude. Never have, never will. But dudes that waste your time doing that, I just answered your statement. You're wasting your time doing that.
All facts. No fiction.
Yeah. And that, think about if you had behaved like that, Ronan, and you told yourself like, well, you know, she ain't gonna want me because all the white dudes down here in the Philippines getting all the women. What if you had told yourself something crazy like that? What if I had told myself something crazy like that in Colombia? Well, bro, they don't want black men in Colombia, so the white man. If I'd have told myself that lie, if Ronan had told himself that lie, if T-Mac had told himself that lie, if Mr. Pro for You and DR would have told himself that lie, a lot of us wouldn't. Jay Clyde, a lot of us wouldn't even have our woman today if we would have listened to you brothers who was worried about what the white man is doing.
Oh, by the way, just so y'all know, a white man did take a shot at her. Didn't pass.
Oreo, obviously. Oreo.
Didn't pass the test. So, yeah, I mean, you can let things kind of hold you back or you can just go for it and don't worry about it. But we come from an old school, me and Dre and others, especially Gen X. There was no DEI hire. It was the best man for the job. And it was that old phrase they say you had to be 5 to 10 times better than that man that didn't get hired to get hired. And all they could do was see dollar signs when you came through the door because you needed to bring them some money in order to get that job. Then they hired you above the next. We had to prove ourselves. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't have to prove themselves anymore. They can make this pie in the sky kind of persona through digital marketing or whatever of who they really are. No, we verified, we certified, we've been through the shit, we lived it. This is lived experience talking to you, not somebody that read it, not somebody that wanted to play like they did it. Everything that's coming out of Dre's mouth and our mouths are absolutely certifiable.
Facts.
We've lived it. So there's a certain tone that comes from somebody that lived it versus somebody just talking. And we can hear it too. When we hear certain people just talking, that's when we start pulling at that string to see where it's going to come unravel itself.
That's absolutely correct. And when you said Gen X, you know what came to my mind? Latchkey passports.
Yeah.
Just like latchkey kids, we were the first generation of kids that had to be home, coming home from first grade, going in there, you make your own bologna sandwich, you're making sure your little brother and sister are taken care of. It's the same thing. We have a latchkey passport mentality. We ain't Generation X. We're not used to having to wait on somebody else. We were raised not to have to wait on our parents. We were raised to be outside. You go indoors, you can't go back outside. You better, if you want some water, you better drink it from that water hose. We're used to being creative and thinking outside the box. We had to. So now you giving grown people who were raised to think outside the box a passport. Now we got latchkey passports. And we're not waiting around for the white man or the Asian man or the local man to tell us what to do, because we were raised nobody could tell us what to do because nobody was around. So we had to think out the box.
Or to make up an excuse to say why we can't.
Facts.
We hate saying we can't do something.
Facts.
You ain't going to get us to say, I can't do that. Bullshit. I'm going to figure out a way to get it done.
We don't care.
There's
We got
multiple different ways to do it. You can crawl under it, go over the wall, or go through that goddamn thing. We're going to figure out a way to get it done. I guarantee you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're still like that to this day. I got a Gen X episode coming up in a couple of weeks. And so I kid you not, man. And I mean this, guys, before we go back to the video, don't make the mistake of allowing what you are hearing from others about the white man and what he's accomplishing, and what assumptions you make about the white man and him with all these other women interrupt how you're supposed to be thinking about yourself in these other countries. I know what you think about the white man. Now show me what you think of you. Show me what you think of you in Thailand, you in the Philippines, I want to see what you think of you, because y'all always tell me about with the white man, how y'all think about the white man and how he get all these benefits. The problem is you rarely tell me about how you are the winner and not the loser. And that's why this episode is dedicated to that. There are so many men that win, but there's going to be men that's going to go down and travel to a bunch of countries, but they're going to be losers. Look, we got to be honest. There are men that will travel to 25, 30 countries and will be losers in every single one of them. And one of the reasons is y'all too busy worried about what the white man doing. Let's get back to the video. Bring that back up.
Some of you haven't had a haircut since you landed.
Damn.
Some of you, and I...
she came out the gate with the hygiene. She said some of y'all had a haircut since you landed. Dang. They bring that beat back for all you filthy dudes.
Not presentable, and you think that doesn't matter here. I'm going to be direct because I think you can handle it. Some of you are showing up in clothes that fit like they were bought in a different decade or for a different body. Some of you haven't had a haircut since you landed. Some of you, and I genuinely cannot stress this enough, are not accounting for the fact that it is 32 degrees here and you need to shower more than once a day, not less.
Yes.
You do not need to look like anyone famous. Age is not the barrier here that might feel like back home, but basic personal presentation is the cover of your book, and people will judge it, and pretending otherwise is just denial. Clean clothes that fit, hair that was cut at some point in recent memory, shoes that don't look like they survived a construction site, deodorant, please, for all of us. And that is the entire bar. It's not high, you know? Clear it.
For all of us. Please, for all of us.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know
how 3 to 5 times a day they get in the shower.
Yes, here too, man. It's hot. It's hot, man. And a lot of times guys don't realize that you got to get in that water. And when you coming from Europe and you take a shower maybe once or twice a week, that ain't gonna work.
Oh, the family has referred to him as a wet dog.
Right.
It's the scent they get from him. Oh my God. Damn.
Yes, sir.
Next one is that you might be hanging out in the wrong places. This might be the most fixable thing on this entire list and nobody says it plainly. If your social life here takes place mostly, almost entirely in bars, nightlife strips, or establishments where the staff are specifically paid to be warm to male customers, you are fishing in a very specific pond. You will catch what lives in
that fly by. The staff is specifically paid to be nice to customers. All that nice warm feeling you're getting, you're being paid for that. Is it genuine? I don't know.
From the barmaid to the pay for play, they all get paid to treat you with a smile. and you think you special. Yeah, that's a great point. Let's bring that back.
Almost entirely in bars, nightlife strips, or establishments where the staff are specifically paid to be warm to male customers. You are fishing in a very specific pond. You will catch what lives in that pond, and then you'll go online and tell everyone Filipinas are only after money. That's a pond problem, not a country problem. The women you're actually looking for are living their lives in normal places, gyms, coffee shops, the SM Mall on a Sunday afternoon. And yes, genuinely, malls here are legitimate social spaces, not just, shopping centers unlike in the West. University areas, but don't linger around like a creep. Church, which before you roll your eyes is one of the most active community hubs in this country and draws an enormous cross-section of the population. Volunteer organizations, cooking classes, mutual social circles through friends. Go where life happens. Stop outsourcing your social life to venues that exist specifically to take money from lonely men. The next one is, you are in the most saturated cities and wondering why you're being treated like a familiar problem. Manila, Cebu, Dumaguete, venues that exist specifically to take money from lonely men. The next one is, you are in the most saturated cities.
You're in the most saturated cities, wondering why you're being treated like a familiar. That's a key word. Familiar problem. They are so familiar with your type of tourist. And Ronan mentioned that, spoke about that earlier. You want to talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, like I said, they know where you're at. If they want to come hunt for you, they don't have to look far. You guys all congregate in the same areas. Kind of like Colombia, kind of like Sosua, kind of like a lot of places globally, right? Yeah. The girls know where to come to find you because y'all all go to the same damn places. Y'all don't know how to spread out. Somebody threw a grenade in the room, everybody get it because y'all standing so damn close together.
No matter where they go, here they go to in Cartagena. Guys go to the same clubs day in, day out. In Medellin, they know where the tourists go to when it comes to certain nightclubs, certain areas, certain bars, certain lounges, certain restaurants. They know how. This the funny part. Guys will come to Colombia, complain about that bar scammed them when they say, "Hey, wait a minute, this bottle was supposed to be $200, and now I'm finding out that they took $400 out of my bank account." Those bars are rare. First of all, that scam people, but those bars are only in areas where tourists go. The hip hop clubs in Colombia. Colombia is not a hip hop country. I'm going to tell you guys that right out the gate. Colombia is not, even here in Cali, there is no hip hop bar. So to see a hip hop bar in Cartagena and see hip hop bars in Medellin, it is not for Colombians. It's to lure you in. Welcome to my web, said the spider to the fly. The web, said the spider to the fly. I know some guys haven't heard that quote in a while, but they are literally bringing you in, suckering you in, knowing that 90% of the clubs in Medellin don't move that way. 90% of the clubs in Cartagena don't move that way. But that 10% that you tourists keep going back to, yes, those are the scammer spots. But as soon as you go to the other side of the city, they don't even know to scam you. That's the crazy part. They don't know to overprice you. There are restaurants that are like, okay, here's our menu, here's the price. It's supposed to be like that, right? Well, no, the restaurant in the tourist area, they don't have the prices on the menu. So you guys get scammed and then you get mad and you think that's all of a particular country. And that's not true. T-Mac says this. Shout out to you, T-Mac, for the $10 love over on the Cash App the other day. He says this. He said many of those tourist places are just like here in Cali, bruh. That laundry money are cartels and mob owned. Absolutely correct. Cleaning up that money. Absolutely correct. He say that host is time enough for y'all. I didn't get that. Him, let me know what you meant by that.
Yeah. Rephrase that one.
Yeah.
Host is time enough for you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's continue on with the video.
And wondering why you're being treated like a familiar problem. Manila, Cebu, Dumaguete. Every expat guide, every YouTube channel, every forum sends men to the same 3 cities. And the cumulative result of that over years is that women in those cities have been dealing with a full spectrum of foreign male behavior for a very long time. They've seen the men who treat this country like an all-inclusive resort. They've met the guys who vanished after a week. They've watched friends get hurt by someone who turned out to have a wife back home.
So pause that real quick. So let's reason this out. So she just said those are the popular places that all foreigners go to, right? Those 3 places, but more. There's actually more. And if we're only 2% and 80% are YT guys, right? Or women, and they feel abused by the majority, why, if we show up, are we the ones that are hated over them? Don't you think that's propaganda?
Mm-hmm.
You getting the picture now? They know who's abusive. They know who's mistreating them, and they know who appreciates them. And all you have to do is show respect. If you go over there acting like the YT man, they're going to treat you like a YT man. If you go over there acting like yourself, being not only humble, but courteous, you're welcomed with open arms. You got more in common with them than you don't, than the YT people do.
True. So true. That's an excellent point. Let's continue on, gentlemen.
And whose literal first question was how much. And so they've developed a rational, learned guardedness that can feel like coldness if you don't understand where it comes from. In a city like Cebu, you're not standing out. You are Tuesday. You're the 10th foreigner that women made eye contact with today. You are a pattern she already knows and she's already decided how to handle. Go somewhere with a different rhythm. Iloilo, Cagayan de Oro, General Santos, Dagupan. These places have their own character, and a foreign man who shows up there is still genuinely interesting. Not in a problematic way, just in a you're new and that's actually novel way. The playing field is different. Next, your social media may be quietly working against you. I know some of you just made a face. Bear with me. Filipinos, particularly under 40, but honestly across a wider age range that you'd expect, will look you up before anything gets serious. They'll search your name. Trust me, they do this. They'll see what you post, what you comment on, how you talk about this country and the people in it. And if your profile reads like someone who talks about Filipino women in a way or in ways that reduce them to a category, that information travels. It will reach her. You don't need to curate your whole digital life, but make sure it isn't actively doing damage. And I think this is the last one. You are giving off a don't approach me vibe and you don't know it.
True. Because we don't come from countries that are, we don't, as Americans and Canadians, we don't cure ourselves with approachability.
Mm-hmm.
We don't give off approaching energy. I remember I was my first couple times going to a particular salsa club, right? And I would stand there with my arms folded.
And come on, Dre. Now you in sales. You already know when your arms are folded, you're closed off.
Absolutely. And I would look like Eastside Detroit, Miami, Florida look, right?
Back up against the wall, looking at the club, making sure you don't get jumped.
Here's the crazy part. I would walk up to a woman and ask her to dance, and every single one of them would be flabbergasted. You could see it all over their face when they saw my smile, when they saw how well I danced and how friendly I was, and they were like, "But who was that guy standing up there with
Right.
his-" See what I'm saying? So I had to realize my energy was giving off one thing, but who I really was a completely different person than what I was. So I learned not to be like that. It was kind of funny because after I danced with maybe two or three women, it would be other women that they would send over, like, girl, go dance with him, that they would send over to dance with me. So no matter how much I stood there with my arms folded, they were like,
no, once you got one dance in, the whole club knew you could dance.
Absolutely.
Then it was a matter of fighting them off. Like, I got too many. I got to take a break. Let me get something to drink.
That's exactly what happened. Literally, that's what happened. Literally, that's what happened. Like, so my first 2 or 3 times going there, I was kind of like that standoffish energy, but that wasn't who I really was. And so once 1 or 2 women saw, okay, yeah, he's good. And so it was I blended right on in. And so they're absolutely correct. She's absolutely correct. You can give off a standoffish energy. T-Mac say, I only see Dre with his arms folded and looking defeated when he was away from Andrea. He say, not Dre. Yeah, man. Yeah. He said, low key says this. Shout out to low key in the building. He says, that's weird that you say that, because I traveled to Europe extensively, and they say that Americans are so not now in Europe. I agree with you, happy and interesting looking, because in Europe, in public, they really don't smile too much in public unless they kind of know you. So Europe is not really known as really communicating like that. So I could easily say you're correct, because it was like that for us in Europe, that unless we spoke to somebody, everybody was kind of like straight faced. But then when we spoke to people, they smiled, they were friendly, the nicest people. But if you don't say anything, Europeans won't, they're just flat screen TVs. Yeah. You're correct about that one. And so they look at us Americans as more outgoing compared to them. He said, he said Americans give off "don't kidnap me" energy. I know, right? I know.
Or at least you're gonna have a problem trying to take me.
I know.
One
right?
of the two.
One of the
it
two.
ain't gonna be easy for
And
you.
it's sneaky
Amen.
because it's invisible from the inside. Are you actually approachable? Not in your own head, in your face, in your posture, the energy you put out in public spaces. Filipino culture has a concept called pakikiramdam, essentially an emotional radar, a reading of the room before anyone engages.
Hear how
Filipinos
they're
are
talking about
exceptionally good at
energies
this, and they
and
use it
being able to
constantly.
read
If your
personality.
baseline energy reads as tense, close.
Say that again.
I say, you hear how she's sitting there talking about how they they look at you, they read you, they can feel the energy you're giving off.
Yeah.
These are not unintelligent people talking at that level of being able to read a personality by the way you're standing there.
Absolutely. That's a great
Sounds
point.
like they're very analytical, doesn't it? Very intuitive.
But
So I'm telling you, the things you hear in rumors versus what you're hearing when you hear somebody speak intelligently are totally different worlds than what the negative women in America will say about you going to get a mudfoot. That's not a mudfoot. She's well educated, well spoken, multilingual. Not the same. Like they used to have the picture of what Africa looked like. Everybody with mud huts and everything. Then you go to Africa, like, God damn, these are all modernized buildings and streets and roads are paved and same thing. Y'all need to get your passports and step out of the damn. You know how people say go outside and touch grass? Go out and touch the damn globe.
This is true. This is true.
Off or faintly hostile, nobody is going to initiate anything with you. You could be the most genuine man in the room, and if your face has been stuck on unapproachable long enough that it's become your default expression, that is what people respond to. Relax, smile. Not a performance, not a creepy smile. A real one. Make eye contact that isn't a stare. Carry your body like it belongs somewhere. That's the whole thing. It sounds simple because it is. Now, I want to spend a minute on this because I genuinely think it's doing real damage. There is an online ecosystem, forums, Facebook groups, YouTube channels, Reddit threads, dedicated to life in the Philippines and dating Filipinas. And some of it is honest and useful. Some of those people show up in my comments actually. But a lot of it is men telling other men exactly what they want to hear. Success stories with the inconvenient parts cut out. Warnings about Filipinas based on one bad experience presented as if it's a universal truth about 59 million people. CD rankings based on ease of meeting women that treat this entire country and its population like a consumer product review. The result is that men arrive with a map drawn by people with very specific and sometimes very limited experiences. And that map is wrong, or at a minimum, it's someone else's map, not yours. And here's what I've noticed about the men who are loudest in those spaces. A lot of them share the same pattern. And it's not hard to see, once you know what to look for, why things went sideways for them. I'm not trying to pile on anyone, but bitterness spreads faster than good news. And the guy who had a terrible experience has every reason to stay online and keep talking about it. The guy who found something real and is happy, he's at home having dinner with his partner. He has nothing to prove. He's not posting about it. And the negativity is what spreads. Don't let it be your baseline before you even arrive. Okay, I want to address something directly that I think a lot of content in this space dances around. Not every man watching this video wants the same thing, and I think that's worth saying out loud. I mean, if it's not, let me know. Some of you are genuinely looking for a partner with her own career, her own independence, her own opinions. A real equal, and the Philippines has those women, more of them every year, frankly. Female university enrollment has outpaced male enrollment for years here in the Philippines. Women are all over the workforce in healthcare, education, business, government, and that woman exists here in abundance, and she is fantastic. But, and I'm going to be honest because that's what this channel is for, some of you specifically don't want that. You've been through the modern Western relationship experience, and what you're really looking for is something more traditional. Someone more soft-spoken, more family-oriented, less career-obsessed. And that's also a real thing you can find here. There are genuinely traditional women here who prioritize home and family and are not apologetic about it. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that or with them wanting that. The point is, know which one you're looking for, because they're different women in different places living different lives. And trying to find one while fishing in others' world will confuse everybody.
Before she goes any further with that, that goes back to what we were saying earlier.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys don't realize how many women in foreign countries that we've hurt. We just see her walking down the street. We get her attention. She's interested in you. She really likes you. Over the days of what you being in her area, she really gets close to you. You may be around long enough to even meet the family. But the truth was, you had no intentions on taking her serious, especially as seriously as she's taking you. And that I think a lot of us don't think about the damage that we leave in the hearts of a lot of these quality women in foreign countries. I've seen that time and time again. Like I said, I've got a female friend here in Colombia, and really just a sweetheart, very attractive. Guys just really want to be with her. And she was with the brother from the States for a couple years. Come to find out, He got a wife and kids back home in the States. Just broke her heart. She didn't date anybody for 2 years after that. Just destroyed her. She was looking. A lot of guys think because a woman is beautiful that she doesn't want a stable relationship. There are a lot of beautiful women around the world that really want stability. Now, there are some party girls. I'm not taking away from that. And there's some beautiful bottom feeders. But for the most part, in most countries, attractive women want the same thing that unattractive women want. Stability, security, legacy. It's the same thing around the world. And a lot of you guys do not realize, and you won't admit on camera, you have hurt a lot of women in a lot of countries. So what she's saying is, if you aren't looking for something serious, okay, deal with the women that aren't looking for something serious. But stop coming into the pool of women that want something serious and pretending like you do, because you guys are leaving a lot of women in airports full of tears that you knew the moment you met her, you only want to smash, but she wanted something solidified with you. Is there anything you want to say about that, Ronan?
Man, you said a mouthful, but it's all facts. I mean, that's the biggest problem. Brothers don't know how to tell the truth. I get it. You want to have fun. If you want to have fun, just be real about having fun. Go to those places. Don't be trying to, and I brought that up on the slide, love bomb them. You're trying to love bomb them because you don't want to pay the fee. You're being cheap, right? You're trying to like, I got her without paying. She wasn't a pay for play. Well, you just turned her into one. You just ruined a good girl for the next guy.
Yes.
Just so you can prove that you don't get pay for play girls. You get legitimate, real girls. But you got a whole wife and kid at home. So what you promised her and what you basically a liar.
That is so.
I'm sorry. I hold true to my word as a man. I mean, very true things in Gen X. We know that words mean something. And if I give you my word as a man, that's what I mean. And you guys give it away half-heartedly.
You have never lied, brother. You have never
And it's
lied.
a damn shame that our society is dropping to this point. You know, that brothers have to get on here and tell you that's not the right way to move. And obviously the women see it. She said it herself. Y'all are messing up the ecosystem for yourselves. Me and Dre ain't having no problems.
No.
Other brothers ain't having no problems. Y'all are doing it to yourselves. Y'all are setting the standard that everybody else follows behind.
That's an excellent point. All right, let's continue on. We're almost like we got like 25% of the video left, I believe.
I'm cool with it. You know me, it's daytime here.
Oh yeah, that's true. Good point.
What I will
don't wanna
say,
get a
and
bedtime.
this is non-negotiable
right?
regardless of what type of relationship you want, is that she is a person with her own inner life, her own family she loves, her own feelings about how she wants to be treated. Traditional doesn't mean desperate. Soft-spoken doesn't mean without standards. Whatever type of woman you're looking for here, she deserves to be treated like a full human being. That's the baseline, and the same goes for you too. Now, I'd be doing you a disservice if I just rattled off a list of apps and told you to download them, because the honest truth is that the app landscape here is genuinely rough. The big ones, Tinder and Bumble, or Badoo, are functional, but they skew toward younger users and casual intentions. And in the more tourist-heavy areas, they're also full of people who are not exactly what their profiles suggest. The more niche, expat-oriented dating platforms, also full of scammers. And I'm not going to name them and pretend they're gold mines because they're not. And the ratio of genuine profiles to fake or transactional ones is not in your favor. And aside from scammers, I think some of them I've read are full of bots. What actually works better than any app is building a real social presence somewhere, which I know sounds old-fashioned but genuinely produces better results. Mutual friends, community events, being a regular somewhere, The organic route is slower, and yes, it requires you to actually leave your condo, but the quality of what comes out of it is in a completely different league. If
Before she goes any further, I'm glad that she mentioned that. And have you noticed that the best way for somebody to meet somebody is through somebody? Because it's like that for the most part here in Colombia.
We talk about social circles. I think between me and you, Fearless, BMT, all the people that we associate with, they're all talking about developing social circles. The more times you go somewhere, you should be developing local friends and acquaintances that within your social circle, one person's going to recommend to the next person, you know, hey, have you met such and such? He's such a good guy and he's living here now. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It's always in sales. We like warm market versus a cold call all day, every day. You get what I'm saying? So that's warm market lead. That's something you can close in a heartbeat because somebody else is bolstering you. So when you can come in, you can just close the deal, right? Because you already been testified that you're a legitimate guy. Versus you having a cold call and hit a no because she don't know who you are.
Yeah. That's a great shout out to International Quiet Storm in the building with the $20 love. He said, Dre, Ronan, first off. And he said, first off, what's up? And great discussion. Bottom line, it's a lot of dudes out here that's admitted cowards. Like we started off earlier, they're lazy. They don't want to put in the work. They aren't confident within themselves outside of their dollars. This is true.
Hey, real quick, I got a delivery. I got to go check on.
This is true. I have to admit this part. Let me pull Ronan down, minimize Ronan, in other words, and I'll pull myself up. But yeah, this is definitely true. He said a lot of dudes. He didn't say most. He said a lot of dudes out here are cowards. As early a millennial, he said I caught the tail end of Gen X teaching of being honest with women. All my breakups have been cordial. Me too. I've had probably one tempestuous breakup because that person was just crazy like that. But other than that, I've never had a problematic breakup because of honesty. You're so correct, brother. And guys don't realize it with foreign women. You would have still got the coochie. You just didn't need to lie about it. And there are so many guys that center themselves around showcasing lies that when it's time to tell the truth, it's like they aren't used to it. Because when we go to other countries, let's put it like this. I'm going to give a little grace to the black traveler. I'm going to give a little grace to the black traveler. Because in masses, let's be honest, as a mass unit outside of our military brothers and sisters, all this is brand new to us as a mass. So we're so used to in the States, some of us will lie to get the coochie. Ronan and I can tell you, I know it's like that here and I know it's like that there. You do not have to lie. You will get a woman's interest from the truth a lot faster than a lie. And like I said, I know back home in the States, we lie to get the coochie. You ain't got to do that in these other countries, bruh. If you lying to women in other countries, bruh, you doing yourself a disservice. That's the craziest thing. You are literally lying to women in other countries. And I'm going to tell you another reason why y'all lie. Not just to get the coochie. Check it out, Ronan. A lot of y'all lie to keep the other dude from getting the coochie. You lie to a woman for a year just so she don't date another dude. You know you got a wife and kids back home. You ain't leaving your you are not leaving your wife and your kids back in the States or UK. You are not leaving them. You are not leaving your woman in Canada. So let's be real. But you will lie to that woman in the Philippines or in Mexico just so she don't get with the next dude for at least a year, at least 2 years. So she put her life
And some of them will become Western Union poppies to do it too.
Absolutely correct. They'll send that
Oh, I'm
money.
gonna pay to keep you off the books.
Yep.
Even though they're gonna take your money and knowing, like old girl said, they're gonna go and check you. They're gonna look at your Facebook if they know your Facebook. They're gonna look at something because one of y'all during Pillow Talk gave up your real name and some way of talking to you. And a lot of y'all nowadays talk through IG or WhatsApp or whatever. So you're gonna eventually give up who you are. You don't think she's gonna see certain things that you've been lying to her about? But she ain't gonna say nothing. She's just gonna keep on taking that money.
Yep. That's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. Shout out to, once again, the International Quiet Storm in the building. Let me bring this back just a tad bit, what she was talking about.
Produces better results. Mutual friends, community events, being a regular somewhere. The organic route is slower, and yes, it requires you to actually leave your condo, but the quality of what comes out of it is in a completely different league. If you're going to use apps and they're not useless, just imperfect, use them as a tool among several, not as your whole strategy. Keep your expectations calibrated, and if a profile seems too convenient, too available, and too interested too fast, it probably is. Just be careful around dating apps, and I'm not trying to say they're useless because my fiance and I met on a dating app, and I'm not going to say what yet. Alright, now here's the practical part. Be honest about what you want. Filipinas will ask you directly, what are you looking for here? They will also figure it out through observation, whether you answer or not. Vagueness reads as someone who wants flexibility without accountability. Clarity, even if your answer is complicated, reads as respect. Next, stay somewhere long enough to matter. 2 weeks is a vacation. Nobody here is going to invest emotionally in someone who leaves next Tuesday. If you want to be taken seriously, be somewhere long enough to be a known face. At the gym, at the coffee shop, in the neighborhood. Community is everything in Filipino culture, and being even a small part of one changes how people see you. Next, learn a few words. You don't need to become fluent. But kumusta, salamat, maayo, if you're in the Visayas, even a small effort signals that you're here because you actually like where you are, not just what you can get out of it. And people notice this more than you think. They're so happy when they hear a foreigner speak some random local language, random local words. Yeah. Next, make her comfortable, not impressed. This is the most useful shift I can give to you. Stop.
Let's bring that one back. That was a bar right there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring that one back.
Stop trying to impress and start trying to be safe to talk, because you actually like where you are, not just what you can get out of it. And people notice this more than you think. They're so happy when they hear a foreigner speak some random local language, random local words. Yeah. Next, make her comfortable, not impressed.
Okay. Guys, when you open up your wallets so much, you are in the impressed category. You are not in the category of making women feel comfortable. A lot of guys think that they are in the category of she feels comfortable around me because I buy her this. I'm telling you that you are in the position of just impressing her. Wow, thank you very much type of responses that you'll get. But when a woman feels comfortable around you, man, that goes a lot further than a woman that feels impressed around you. Because if you can impress her, then the next man can too.
Right.
But not all men can make a woman feel comfortable around them. Go ahead, Ronan.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, when a woman can feel free to talk to you and feel comfortable to where she relaxes and not have to stay on guard because she's not used to the environment and other things. I mean, the nice places that you're going to enable this woman to go to are far beyond things that she's used to, unless you met her in a community of, like BGC, and she already had a job with the call center or something. So she's used to doing certain things for herself. match the energy. They're willing to put in and help you if you allow them to, instead of you just trying to take care of everything. See if she's going to match the energy. Like I said, I made my lady wait 4 months before I bought a vehicle, right? What'd she do? She matched my energy by turning around, putting tires, rims, fixing the lift kit on the damn truck and putting a damn snorkel on it. That's matching energy. God damn.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So you need to look at that too. Look at if she appreciates and she's going to match your energy, and you're not just the one always putting out, and she's willing to try to do something, maybe not of equal value, but at least something to show her appreciation and acknowledgement of your effort. If she's not doing that, then she's just going to keep on sucking you dry.
True. That's a great point. All right, let's continue on.
This is the most useful shift I can give to you. Stop trying to impress and start trying to be safe to talk to. She's not wondering if you're impressive. She's wondering if you're going to be pushy or weird or one of those guys. Warmth, patience, genuine curiosity about her as an actual person. That's the whole game. Not lines, not strategies, not your bank account, although some people might argue it is. Just being a human being that another human being wants to spend time with. The next one is you have to make actual friends first. Not romantic targets, but actual people, actual friends. People you enjoy spending time with, whose social circles you gradually become part of. This is how a lot of the best relationships here start. Through someone who knew someone who mentioned you to someone. That pipeline works better than almost anything else, and it has the added bonus of giving your life here actual substance regardless of whether a relationship develops. Now here's the version of this story that ends well. A man shows up here not because he was told it was easy, but because he was genuinely curious about this place and these people. He gets out of the foreigner bubble. He takes care of himself. He stops performing and starts being real. He makes actual friends. He becomes part of somewhere, even a little. And at some point, without trying to engineer it, he meets someone. And it's real because he was real first. That story happens here all the time. I've watched it happen from the inside, and I'm living adjacent to one. But it doesn't happen to you. You have to participate. You have to show up as a complete, honest, self-respecting person, and then have the patience to let something develop. The Philippines will absolutely meet you there. It's not going to do all of it for you. 59 million women, more than the entire population of South Korea. One of them is absolutely right for you, but she's not going to find you on a bar stool in a foreigner strip staring at the door. Go find her. Drop your city in the comments. Where are you based? How long have you been here? What has your actual experience been? Because I want the real answers, not the farm version. And if this video helped someone you know, the share button's right there. This has been me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Either translated this as the traditional Filipino courtship in a Europe. Filipinas, particularly.
Yeah, they are very funny about, they're wanting to pronunciate every word properly. They're very particular about their English speaking. So sometimes even if you walk up on a Filipino and they say they can't speak English, that's BS. They're just not confident in their English.
All right. Well, this was I kid you not, this is probably one of our best episodes as far as breaking down. We start off talking about the red flags that we showcase, not just the red flags that the women showcase. She came straight logical, no emotions, just all the facts. And so, guys, the opportunities are not just in the Philippines when it comes to how to behave, but she laid a foundation for no matter what country you go to.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, believe me, I've used that red flag thing in a couple other conversations before this one. Because once I heard it, I was like, damn, I got to use that. You know,
Yeah.
I've used it a couple times to point out red flags
So
that we give off. Yeah.
Yeah, if you see me do a episode on that, do not be surprised.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, because
you know we share.
Hey, yeah, that's right. But I just want to say, man, Ronan, man, I've been celebrating and happy for you, even when you were back in the States, and you guys you were planning to go over there initially, and so to this day, I know what it's like to have that long distance moments. I know what it's like for people not to believe in what you when the relationship is at long distance at one point in time. I know what it's like to come together and see the fruits of a solidified relationship. And it is possible, guys. Ronan and I are living proof that there are some quality women across the world. But if you are not a quality man, that's going to hinder you a little bit. I can't put it any other way. If you so busy trying to smash everything and you're so busy trying to purchase every woman, no matter what country you go to, it ain't gonna pan out well for you all the time. So just like she mentioned, one of the first things that you want to start to gather when you go to a certain country is a good network, because that network will introduce you to the quality women that you can appreciate and will appreciate you. What would you have to say about that, Ronan?
I think that's key. In any situation you're in, having a great network of trusted individuals around you that know the lay of the land, that can get you from one place to another. We're not islands amongst ourselves, especially when we're in foreign countries. It's not so easy to move around, not so easy to communicate for some of us, especially if we didn't learn the language. So having somebody that you can trust to translate for you, to point you in the right direction so you don't get that gringo price. Maybe you hang back, you give them the money, and you let them go buy the thing, because if you go and buy it, all of a sudden there's a surcharge on that price that's on the window because you don't know any better. So yeah, absolutely. When you travel, you should have some kind of circle of trust, especially if you're going back there more than once. I get it. If you're a first time traveler, you're going to have to stumble through it a little bit. If you haven't done your research, you don't have a tour guide or somebody that you can travel with that help you do that translation, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. But eventually you'll get down that road if that's something you want to do. You got to be persistent. Sometimes things that come easy are not the greatest thing in the world. Sometimes trial and error are things that make you love or appreciate the thing that you're actually doing more so. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be comfortable. I'm uncomfortable. I like certain American creature comforts that come standard in the house that aren't here. You get what I mean? Central AC for one. You know what I mean? I got these split air cons sitting here instead of central AC throughout the whole house, and some of those break down. So one part of the house could be cool and one wouldn't, things like that. Hot and cold running water. Jesus Christ. They don't run hot and cold hot water tanks. You got to have a little button to push to turn on the hot water if you want to take a hot shower. I mean, there's certain things that you're going to have to give up to get these experiences. If you're that type of guy that can't do that, you're going to be around the cities 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. And then you're just going to be, like she said, a familiar problem. I like how she worded that. You'll be nothing but another familiar, not foreigner, a familiar problem.
Right.
And so, yeah. But let's end this particular live stream. Do you have anything in particular that you like to share other than what you just mentioned?
I have, we're going back into our old project days. So me and Fearless, we've done this thing where we used to do Thursday night therapy sessions.
Okay.
And we stopped that because we lost our therapist. But when you have a new therapist, and our old therapist, she was a female. So sometimes she was shy towards the female perspective, more so than really talking to the men that needed the therapy. Because she was in defense mode. Matter of fact, she went so far as to calling both me and Fearless Neanderthals.
No.
So we had a whole live on that, But now we have a young man named Troy, who's a licensed therapist. So I loaded a video. If you want to play that as a little promo, we're going to start next Thursday again for season 2. It's a video next. It's the
I see it. I'm removing this. And here we go.
When being strong isn't enough, you can provide, you can protect, you can keep moving forward and still carry things nobody around you knows about. Pressure, loss, divorce, fatherhood, money, family, the expectations people place on you, and the expectations you place on yourself. Most men were taught how to endure. Very few were taught what to do with everything they had to endure. That's where the conversation begins. Not with blame, not with excuses, and not with somebody telling grown men how they're supposed to feel. We're talking about understanding the weight, learning how to carry it differently, and knowing when it's time to put some of it down. This is Thursday Night Therapy Session. 3 men, 3 different roads through life, and one table where the conversations most men have privately finally get spoken out loud. Ronin Travelers, Fearless Talk Live, and Tapped In with Troy. A new season is coming, and this time, we're going deeper.
Just some truth we came to find. It's Thursday Night Therapy, where a man can drop his guard. We ain't promising easy answers.
Good work.
We're just talking through the heart.
That's my song too, AI song for a blues song.
Oh,
so
wow.
I even got full production on that song too.
Okay, all right, little.
So yeah, I'm working on my craft. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there slowly but surely. I'm just walking into the door over the last couple of days of Claude, and man, I'm so glad that me and Claude have been talking all day long, man, before the show.
Yeah, you be having all kind of personal conversations. Like when I first started this, I started teaching it about myself and everything else, and I came out with a master prompt even in ChatGPT, so it was easier for me to translate that into giving it to Claude to pick up the pace on learning. But you have to teach the AI everything about you. You have to really want to give it, like, it knows my 16 personality code. It knows everything about me, my masculinity archetype. It knows everything. So it knows the tonality, how I want my scripts to be written. It knows everything about me. So when I say I need this done in my perspective, it does it in my perspective.
That is kind of funny that you would say that. That's what I was using Claude for this morning for my writing. And I probably spent these first 3 hours dropping transcripts from the show, so it'll know how I speak. The books that I've written, I've dropped chapters, and so I had, and it was like, do you want to go this direction, or do you want me to take the profanity out, or do you want me to keep the cussing in?
I leave mine. I know you're more Christian. I leave mine in. I have to come off a rough a little bit, but you know, I can't stop myself.
And the other thing I had to tell it, like, to get accustomed to my writing style, to be accustomed to my speaking style, is I didn't realize how much broken English I use, how much I say cuz and I say ain't. I thought I was an earned man, and of it, I'm an ain't man, and so I'm going to be working on. So just working with Claude, it makes me feel like, okay, I got to work. I need to work on this, work on that. Not as much profanity all the time, so forth and so forth. But I love the fact that those 3 hours, that once it developed my writing style,
it's locked in, and you don't have to do it again.
And then
once you make that effort,
and I tested it with the writing. I had it write a chapter for me, and I tested it against what do I use, the Grammarly. And Grammarly has a section where it tests to see what percentage of this sounds AI. And right now, Claude is down to 8%. So over 92% of it sounds like Andre is writing it.
You know what helps? Once you get your personality program to it, like, it knows I'm Creole, it knows the background of my education, it knows everything that detailed about me. So it literally uses my inferences, you know, and sometimes I come across really rough on some of my lives. I know you dived into some of them where you come in the room and I'm really getting in somebody's ass. But sometimes I come off rough and I feel bad. So I'll have ChatGPT or I'll have Claude go back through. Please reanalyze everything I've ever done. Did this go against what my morality is, my ethics? Did I call something out that I shouldn't have called? Am I being a hypocrite? And it goes back and verifies everything. And every once in a while in my posts, I'll put out a score sheet on how consistent I am with my messaging. Am I saying something I never said before? Am I staying consistent with my core values as a person and what I want on my channel? And it'll go back and give me a report card on whether I'm being honest about who I said I was or am I lying to myself and who I represent as an individual. Okay. I have it do all that for me. So once it knows you, it will hold you accountable. So if you hide something from it, then it can say, but if you tell it 100% the truth of everything you are, your history, everything, your background, your mannerisms, it will keep you honest.
And you're so correct, because I tested it today. And remember I said I had it write a chapter for me. And then I said, I want write that chapter like Les Brown or Tony Robbins would. And Claude was like, okay, now here's going to be the results. Here's what you're going to see, but I'm going to do it. And then I took it and I tested the percentage, and it was like 55% AI. And Claude was basically, and I'm paraphrasing, basically was like, I told you, Andre, if you step out.
I've had those lessons being told to me. You can't do that.
Yeah, if you step out of that, you will automatically be picked up as that's not Andre. So yes, it'll come across as AI, because that's why you're at 55% for that chapter. Sounds like it's AI compared to when I was writing it for you, and your writing style was, and it only was 8% AI. You know why, Andre? Because you have me being somebody or writing in a style that's not you. And so, and then Claude even asked me, said, wait a minute, let's talk for a minute.
Right.
Claude said, what are you trying to do? I kid you not, man, I'm blown away. It said, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to pass the plagiarism and the AI generator test or exam or whatever Grammarly had for you? I was like, yes. Say, okay, what platforms are you trying to pass this for? So it named off all of the major book platforms. It was like, are you trying to pass Amazon, or is it Kindle? Is it this? Is it that? So it named off like 6 of them. And I was like, well, I'm trying to make sure I pass Amazon's. Okay, Andre, I know how to get you through Amazon. So here's what we're going to focus on. This particular chapter is going to be dedicated to writing like you, but you're going to have to stop looking at every time a chapter comes and you're at 20% or 25% and it says AI. You are doing a lot better than a lot of people that post on Amazon. So don't think because it says 20 to or 25 or even 11% AI that you're not generating authentic writing. You actually are, because we're using your tones, your writing style from because what I did, I dropped 2 videos from YouTube.
Now, are you typing, writing, or are you verbally dictating your book?
Now, ask me that. Do you want me to take what you've given me and then you verbally speak to me about what you really want to do? Do you want to we start from scratch with this chapter and you speak to me right off the gate what you want to say? Or do you want me to just continue that we work together on what you have? Because I have, like I said, I had the book already completed, which is the one that I've been talking about giving away to the guys, which is the Unshakable Man. That's completed. But I just want to go through Claude to make sure that I dot my I's, cross my T's, especially with the latest software. And Claude has been helping me out tremendously with each one of the chapters. So now I go through Claude, make sure I have that chapter on point. Then I can bring it over to Atticus and format it. And for those that don't know what Atticus is an AI software that formats your book for you. What do I mean? Formatting a book is to, okay, here's my book, Stop Making Excuses. To format a book, it means what it's going to look like on pages. So just in case you ever heard somebody say formatting, where do you want do you want it to have some of your other books in there? Do you want it to, and Atticus is on a one-time payment. Atticus is like $57, and it formats all my books, man. All my books. It breaks down let me see if I can pull my Atticus up on the screen real quick. Because
while you're doing that, while I'm learning AI, I'm also documenting a book called the AI Filmmaker's Playbook.
There you go.
So as I'm learning my lessons through ChatGPT, the integration between learning that part to learning AI and then integration with Claude, I'm actually documenting those steps.
So right here with the title, like you go back here, like I said, it's only $57 and you got the desktop. So these are how I formatted all my other books. So I'll show you right here. It'll take you to, okay, your title. So this is the title. This is the subtitles. And this is the author. Right here, you put in your information. It actually has either you have a pre-made one as far as copyrights, or you can look up and have one created through AI with your copyrights in regards to your books.
Right.
Right here, it's all about the content. So every time you put a chapter in, you don't have to put chapters in. It'll automatically in the table of contents, chapter 2, chapter 3. So every time I drop a chapter in here, it automatically creates the table of contents. Acknowledgements. I already have acknowledgements, so I already had that pre-made already. So I have the acknowledgement, the thank yous, the inspiration from all the people that have helped me out. Here's a shout out, right? Shout out to all my military travel brothers. Though I never served in the military, you have welcomed me as one of your own, teaching me the value of discipline, of camaraderie, and strategic thinking. And these are the things that I learned from you military men. So I give you guys a shout out. And right here about the author. And you can get all that in Atticus right from so you guys wonder, well, where did you get this from? Right here. So for example, right here, the layout, and I push forward. And so you see how that forward just popped up right here, and I can move it right here. I can move it down here. I can move it back down here, or I don't want it. I can erase it. I could delete it.
Now, my question is there an agent or some kind of plugin for Claude to talk directly to Atticus?
Actually, it is. I haven't done, when I was looking up authors in Claude, they actually do have one for Atticus. So I have not used it because, you know, I'm basically kind of new with Claude.
Right.
But once this is done, let me show you an example of the formatting. So it gives you several ways that you can set that book up. So all the ways that you want to set up, do you want the book to look like this? You can see it change over here. If you want the book to look like this, it changes over there. If you want it to be, if you want to, once you're done, you want to export it as just export to be downloaded to Amazon or any other platform, or do you want it to be e-publicized? In other words, an ebook. So it'll do that for you. And then it'll let you see an example of what your book will look like on an iPhone. What
like if you're doing Kindle, like that type of thing. Yeah.
Yep. So you get a chance to look at each page, what it'll be looking like on an iPhone, what it'll look like on an iPad. So you can go back here. You can kind of like check out each chapter.
Now, what if you wanted to include graphics or diagrams or anything like that? Does it do like
inside of my book, I have let's go back here. Let's go back home for a second. And inside of, let's see, anywhere is possible, right? And right here, I have book releases. Bam. So I can add my books in there, or any graphics that you want to add per page. So inside of anywhere possible, I forget which chapter, I have the J curve. So I have a graphic for the J curve that I always talk about. So yeah, you can add graphics to this, and they've actually updated even more abilities to make your graphics a lot smoother. And so then you go back. Now you see what it looks like when you format it. So now I can go by chapter. I can look at a whole chapter, or I can go look at it per page when I go right here and I go to print, and then allow me to see what it looks like if it's printed with this design. Oh, I don't like that design. I go over here. And so I choose a different design, and it will change to see how it changed. Whatever design that I choose from over here. Here we go again. I just choose this next one, and it'll change to that. So it looks like this, and then it'll show you per page. So it does everything that you need to do. It literally shows you what your book is going to look like. And you notice that it shifts over when it comes to the left and to the right. Like if I go to another page, it shifts again, because that's how your book is going to look like when it's printed.
Right, for binding.
Yep. And it used to be so expensive to pay for, because a lot of people don't realize when it comes to writing. Yep, that's Atticus. Like I said, it was only $57, and it is well worth it. And I forget how to connect them, but I'm going to be looking that up. But I've already looked up all the other authors that have been using Atticus and Claude together. So absolutely correct that you can. And so right here, you can go right. The two areas is writing and formatting. So you go back to your writing. And once again, every time I put in a chapter for anywhere is possible, it automatically generated the table of contents. So I never had to do this. None of this I did. Just as long as I put a chapter in there, or part one or part this, it like part 3 is right here. It automatically put part 3 in there when I put it down here. And so if I want to add more to it, it has pre-layouts, a copyright template for any general copyright, like I was telling you about that.
Right.
You want to do any chapter changes, full images, you want to do that. And so, or import chapters, all that is right here with Atticus. I kid you not, man. It is a game changer when it comes to formatting your book, because a lot of people think about books, the writing part. Nobody thinks about the formatting, what it's going to look like when Amazon prints it. That's what formatting is. Formatting is what it's going to look like if somebody downloaded your book from Kindle or Amazon, or what it's going to look like as an ebook. The writing part is great. You completed your book, your American Dream. You got to format it next. And Atticus saves you. I turned Obsidian onto this. Atticus saves you so much, because it basically does everything for you as long as you plug and play. And then I found out that Atticus also works along with Claude, but I like I said, I'm just starting Claude over the next couple of days. So
you haven't linked to yet.
I don't know which plugin it is, because I was looking at the plugins that go in. Like you got the Google, you got Chrome.
Google. Yeah, there's so many
plugins. So yes, they do have one with Atticus.
Yeah, I have a Higgsfield plugged in for my Claude. So I'll take the concept, the art that I might have did in ChatGPT Image 2, and I punch all that into Claude, or I'll upload the files directly in the Higgsfield, and I'll tell it, go in directly through your MCP login, pull down these files, and construct this off of the storyboard. That film that you just saw was done through Claude in Higgsfield.
Oh,
and I just gave it the storyboards. I made the images. I gave it character sheets for each one of us, just like I gave you the character sheet for that one time I did the thumbnail.
Uh-huh.
All I need is a picture and your bio as far as your height, your weight, and I'll have it look just like you. Now, I'm that good with it. You know what I mean? Because I have a cousin, he's a rapper. He's 6'7". He had this big dude, and he's a rapper too. And he was like 6'9". So I'm like, if I do a image of y'all standing on the stage together performing, and he had another rapper that's 5'9". So how am I going to make them all look different heights if I don't program the bio information on the character? So the AI takes the bio information off the character sheet, and when you put them all in the same scene, the height variance kicks in. It doesn't make them all the same height. But if you don't do that, it doesn't know that they're not the same height.
Yeah, I get you on that one.
Yeah. So the bio information has to be pretty clear about height, weight, body type, even nationality. Because before it was making me look like a white boy every time I tried to do a picture of me.
Wow.
I had to give it that kind of bio information to kind of stop making me look white because of my skin tone. And the cleft square chin, which I don't have.
Right. All right, we're about to wrap this particular show up. Glad we was able to share that information at the end.
Yeah, that is a game changer. Definitely. I'm definitely going to look into that.
Yeah, I kid you not, man. I love it. Like I said, it's one time pay me. You don't have to pay for it anymore. This is my desktop version. So you download it to your desktop, and man, the formatting is so simple, so easy. And as you can tell, all the books that I've written have been formatted through Atticus. And so the next books that I'll be writing will be formatted through Atticus from now on. And then once I learn the process to how to use Atticus alongside with Claude, that's going to really be a game changer.
It's funny you said that. I actually have a picture of me standing next to Mahomes. I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. And I did it on AI.
Oh, wow.
Let me see if we can pull it down. I got a lot of pictures, so it's going to take me a second. But go ahead. While you're talking, somebody just said something about it, so I'm going to pull it down.
But yeah, so if any of you guys want to use Atticus, man, I kid you not. And like I said, one of the biggest mistakes, I kid you not, there are some mistakes that a lot of authors make. First mistake that you make is you use Amazon's free ISBN numbers. What is the ISBN number? The ISBN number is on the back of every book, the ISBN number. Amazon gives you one for free. Here's the problem. When it comes to that book that you're printing off of Amazon, it doesn't allow you to sell it anywhere else. You can only sell it on Amazon. So where do you get free? Oh, I'm not free, but where do you get ISBN numbers? Because you have to pay for them. You can buy them in bulk. If you buy them now, ISBN numbers are international. This number on here, no matter what country I go to, if I want to purchase my book or anybody's book, I can use that ISBN number internationally. In the United States, these numbers are $25 to $40 a piece. Now, remember, I just said they're international. In Colombia, the same ISBN type of numbers, $15 a piece. And even if I even did even more research and say, well, let me see how much they are in Philippines or in Thailand, they may be even more inexpensive, even though they're the same ISBN numbers that you would use internationally, the same ones. So that's a kind of like, I wish I had known before. I'm glad I knew about Atticus, but I thought I was going to have to pay a formatter. So the 3 steps of writing a book is writing the book, and then making sure your book is proofread to make sure that your punctuation and all that. So I use Grammarly. There are other book proofreading to make sure your grammar is correct and everything. Software is out there that you can pay for as well. And number 3 step is to use Atticus. And then the last step is getting your ISBN number. So when you upload it to Amazon, you've paid for it yourself, now you can sell your item on Amazon with that ISBN number you purchased in whatever country. At the same time, I can sell this book on any platform I want, but as long as you use Amazon's free ISBN numbers, you can't sell your books anywhere. You can sell your ebooks anywhere. You can sell your audiobooks where you want to, but you cannot sell your tangible books if you use Amazon's free version. Just a little tip. And shout out to the birthday man in the building.
That's a huge tip.
He says, salute Dre and Ronan. He said, I'm celebrating my last night in Cali. Just met your boy from travel to Cali. Shout out to him. He said, good dude. Yes, sir. Some good dudes down here in Cali. Really good guys. Shout out and happy birthday to Uriah, man.
So Uriah is down there now? I mean, did he go through that whole situation with you guys, or did he come down just after?
Yep, he came a few days after.
Wow.
Because
shout out to you, brother.
Already scheduled to come down
right
during the festival. And so a lot of guys were like, you know what? Let me go on down anyway. Maybe I could help somebody, or maybe I could just meet up with some guys, make sure everybody's all right type of thing. Yep. He said, I'm standing next to Valentina right now. Shout out to you guys, man. Enjoying yourselves. Because it didn't destroy all of Cali. There are many places in Cali that you wouldn't even knew it was an earthquake at all. Black Nubian says that he said, I used to use Adobe InDesign. Atticus seems like plug and play. It is, bruh. And I was going to use Adobe to do my formatting for my book. And I was doing research and I came across Atticus. And I said, okay, let me check this out. And I kid you not, Atticus is a game changer. It makes formatting your book so easy. And like I mentioned before, my favorite part about Atticus is this. The fact that you can choose which format that you want your book to be in. That's the game changer for me. That was the part that really just was over the top for me, when I could sit back and choose when I can put in my chapters. And yes, you can type in this as well. So if you want to change something, you can go in here and just change it and just retype. So you can type in here as well. And a lot of people actually type their books out. The only thing about that Atticus doesn't have a way to make sure that your sentence structures are correct and your punctuation. So I create my books outside of Atticus, and not only once I have everything perfect, I just drop the chapters into Atticus, and if I just use it for a formatter instead of writing. And well, like I say, you can use this to change any, as long as you click on it, you can change it to any format that you want. And you can look at the pages, go through the pages, see how it's set up. If you don't like that, you can have it set up right over here. And it looks like this one. Or you can go right here. And this is one of my favorite ones that I use. I use this one. And I think my latest book is this one right here that I'm using to format. And that's what I like about it. You could change it to this one. You could change it to that one. And whichever one's your favorite, you can put a heart on there. And so that's what I like about Atticus. It formats the books for you. You don't have to hire somebody to do the formatting for you. And when you download it, you could download it as a PDF to put with Amazon or any other printing platform, or you can download it right here as an e-published or ebook. So you can download it, it'll automatically be an ebook, or you can download it right here and it'll be a PDF that you can upload to Amazon or any other printing platform. And then right here, you can go back and forth between writing and formatting right up in here. And that's what makes it so easy. And of course, you can download it to software and things like that. You can install other apps, so forth. It's got so many things that it can do now, man.
Yeah.
I haven't used it in a couple of months, but
right,
that you can do.
Man, you know, Dre, I'm sitting there looking for this image, but I did not realize how much AI work I have been doing. Jesus, I cannot find this image. I don't know if I did it in Gemini. I don't know if I did it in ChatGPT. It was so long ago. But yeah, I'm just looking at my old production stuff and how much the likenesses are getting more and more indistinguishable.
Yeah.
You know, before, like I said, the AI is learning faster and faster. So that's why these new iterations of the software are coming out so much faster. You know, CDance 2.5 now does 30-second clips. Before, you could barely get 8 seconds to 12 seconds out of it. You're lucky to get 15. Now you're getting two clips is a minute. So now you can get closer to full production without breaking your pockets. If y'all knew how much I spent on AI, y'all know I'm definitely not making money right now. I spend at least $500 to $800 a month on AI.
Yeah, a lot of guys don't realize how much money I put in a lot of if dudes realize I invest in AI platforms, software, like I'm buying colognes.
Mm-hmm.
Every month I could easily say a lot of times I haven't spoiled myself outside the business for years. That's why you guys see me with colognes, because that's my one spoil. Because
that's your one little thing, that you can do for yourself.
Yep. Everything else goes back into the business and into the investments. Shout out to crypto. Crypto acting a fool today.
Oh, is it?
Oh my God.
Where we at?
Bitcoin was up at one point in time during the stream. It was up to 75,000 or 500.
Oh, okay.
Because crypto been Bitcoin been hovering around like 63,000.
Oh, well, it's just coming back down. I remember when it was about a year and a half ago, about 45, 56.
Yeah.
Then it soared as high as maybe 120 and then dropped back down. But like I said, it just depends on what your buy-in window is, especially with crypto. If you brought in, like, I remember when it was, I'm so embarrassed to say this because I didn't buy then, 10K a coin.
Wow.
That's how early I knew about it, was 10K a coin, and I just did not want to spend 10K on some goddamn crypto back then. But yeah, if you brought in there, you're talking about 1,000% gains and shit.
Yep. Yep. That's serious. Let me go and wrap this up because I got some things I need to do with this.
Right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop down so you can close the show, but I appreciate you. I enjoyed everybody coming to the show and listening to, a real perspective of people coming to the Philippines and getting a level set, not a delusional set of expectations on what you could expect here. If you guys go back to Andre's show of me telling you about my budget and living here in the Philippines, if you can find good people here. The creature comforts of America are not in the province. If you want that, go to BGC, go to Makati, stay in the Manila area where there are more affluent people. You have everything from Landers, which is like a Costco, all kind of upper echelon malls. You can get whatever you want, like you can get in America, if that's what you want, the American experience in the Philippines. But if you want the cultural Filipino experience, but you still want some American comforts, you can go to different provinces and get that. But all Filipinos ain't pushovers and they all ain't mud feet. They're very intelligent people.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. All right, brother. I'm right behind you when it comes to heading up out of here.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you being here. Anytime you want to come on the show, you and all the other brothers, you are welcome at any point in time. Shout out to our brother Ronan. Yes, sir. Shout out to our brother Ronan. Shout out to all you guys that hung around and got a chance. I might clip the last part of this video when it comes to the books, how to create your own book, and actually put that over on the Patreon for us, because that's important for all you guys that might be interested in writing. But shout out to all you guys that are here. And it doesn't just apply to the Philippines. It actually applies to any country. Be a quality man, you will meet quality people. Hands down. Let's get ready to head up out of here. Let's do a quick outro because I'll be seeing you guys mañana. Let's do... We can always do Cape Verde.
You say you're special, one of a kind, one of the better boys. I'm on your level, that's what you say, but all I hear is noise. I don't have time for trying my luck. I've been too hurt before. You're not that special. Just give it up. I think I've had enough. I'm too busy loving my friends. I ain't got no love to spare for you. I'ma be that girl to the end. It don't really matter what you do. Guess I have to tell you again, 'cause you haven't got the news. Boy, you really need to understand that I don't wanna be your girlfriend. No, I don't wanna be your girlfriend. All I wanna spend with my girlfriend's girlfriend. So I don't wanna be your girlfriend. I know you want me, boy, I can tell. So deep under my spell. Sorry, not sorry that I'm no help, 'cause I'm full of myself. Boy, don't you worry, you'll find someone who wants you back, but that is not me. So give it up, haven't you had enough? I'm too busy loving my friends. I ain't got no love to spare for you. I'ma be that girl to the end. It don't really matter what you do. Guess I have to tell you again, 'cause you haven't got the news. Boy, you really need to understand that I don't wanna be your girlfriend. No, I don't wanna be your girlfriend. All I wanna spend with my girlfriend's girlfriend. So I don't wanna be your girlfriend. No, 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 no. Girlfriend. No, 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 no. Girlfriend. No, 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 no. Girlfriend's girlfriend. So I don't wanna be your girlfriend. No, 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 no. I don't really have time for you, boy. I don't wanna hear anything more. Boy, you really need to understand that I'm not your girlfriend. I just wanna be up in the club with my girls, yeah, sipping that pub. Never worry about la 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 love, 'cause I'm not your girlfriend. Yeah, yeah. And I never